Hello, everybody. Welcome back from the break. You're now watching Game Masters here on the GDQ Hotfix. I am your host, Kiara_TV. And if you like the Donkey Kong 64 randomizer, well, we've got a treat for you for the rest of tonight because we're going to be hitting the full trilogy of what I like to call Banjo Kong 64. Because we're going to be doing some showcases of all three video games here coming up. It's going to be Banjo Kazooie, Banjo Tooie, and Donkey Kong 64, wrapping it up at the end of the night. Not randomized, so you're not going to have to go to dk64randomizer.com. You can just play the game as intended on the cartridge, that big yellow cartridge that it came on. Before we get into the show, you can always catch up on past Hotfix shows, special events, and GDQ marathons over on youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. So if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with GDQ. Also, if you're curious what's coming up on Hotfix or you're interested in running on GDQ, you can check out this week's schedule and submit your runs to be showcased at gdq.gg/hotfix. I am joined by the star of tonight's show, Ad129. Ad, welcome to Game Masters. And, what do you got on the docket for us tonight for those who may not know exactly what we have cooking up here?
Yeah, so hello, once again, I'm Ad129, and yes, we have a very special showcase for you tonight. So essentially, I will be running Banjo Kazooie, which we'll be seeing first, then Banjo Tooie, which is the sequel of Banjo Kazooie, and we'll be wrapping tonight up with some Donkey Kong 64. So to just summarize going backwards, in Donkey Kong 64, we'll be showcasing this Jungle Japes 100% IL, which essentially will be me getting 2 Jungle Japes, getting all the Kongs, getting everything we need to do a full 100% level IL for that. And then we'll do some mini games afterwards to just showcase the different variety of things you can do in DK64. And then for Banjo Tooie, we'll be doing a Mayahem Temple 100%, which is essentially the same concept. We're going to be 100%ing the first level of Banjo Tooie and just collecting everything we need there. And then, again, mini games. And then we're going to begin with some Banjo Kazooie, beginning with some Furnace Fun, which essentially just showcasing some mini games you can do in here. And then jumping right into our first 100% run, which will be 100% Trotless. So we'll get into what that run is much later, but honestly, we can begin our Furnace Fun showcase in 3, 2, 1, and go.
All right, good luck, Ad. This, I think, is
awesome.
so
Thank
fun
you.
and so silly how it came up and just kind of out of nowhere. It's just here. They just put this into the game,
Yeah.
and now we're playing it.
Yes, exactly. So this is Furnace Fun. This is the thing you do before fighting Gruntilda, which is the final boss of the game. Essentially, it's just a massive quiz show of just a variety of questions that you're just going to be asked. So here, which one's the missing letter? I actually do not know this one. I think it's X if I remember. Got it wrong. So if you get it wrong, you do take damage. So you have to be very careful on what you do here. Thankfully, I have memorized a lot of these questions because I have been running this game since around 2021. And so essentially, with that, we will be just seeing everything that you can do in Furnace Fun. Words are hard, by the way. I'm actively trying to think while answering these questions.
Yeah, you're reading, you're
easy.
trying to get the answers correct. And correct me if I'm wrong, isn't there certain things that are randomized in the base game with the grunty questions that ask about her that you have to talk to Bruntilda for?
Yes.
So how do you get around those in Furnace Fun?
Actually, that's actually a really good question. I'll answer that in a bit, but essentially we do skip this entire quiz show in most speedruns. But we'll be showcasing that glitch after these 2 time channel challenges. So this is where we do our mini games in Furnace Fun. So let's see which one we get first. And it's the B one. Okay, so this one's really hard, actually. Essentially, they're just going to be bees just flying at us, but we just have to kill them. So we have 30 seconds to kill all the bees in here. Normally in 100%, which is when you would do this fight, we would have gold feathers, but we actually cannot use gold feathers in here for some reason. So we just have to just peck at them and just kind of hope we don't die. If we do die, that's really bad because you have to redo so much. and like you have to restart from the very beginning, which is very punishing, honestly, if you are like so late. So that's our first one complete. And so just one more question to ask here. It's like a mud hut. And then here's our second one. Oh, it's Vile. Okay.
I hate this one.
We're getting like the real hard
Yeah,
ones.
this one sucks.
Yeah, no, this is... See, Banjo Kazooie is really like showing me, like giving me the hardest minigames that there are in this game. Really wants to give me a challenge tonight. All right, so this is Mr. Vile, or essentially the worst minigame in the game, honestly. Essentially, what we have to do is we have 60 seconds to eat these little like creatures that come out from the ground, and essentially, in the final version of it, we'll be switching from the yellow ones and then the red ones. And so we just have to be very careful on what we do here, and we have to get more than Vile to win. If we do not get as much as Vile, we do lose. Thankfully here it's not as punishing because it's just a simple one-hit damage redo a minigame. However, with if you do this in the normal area, which is in Bubble Gloop Swamp, you actually Vile will attack you, and Vile deals 2 hits of damage. And if you are like low health, which normally you do in the 100% speedrun because you do the section last, you could die, and if you do die in a like level, you lose all the progress you do essentially. So it's really scary to do a Vile. All right, we're gonna do one more timer, and then we'll be moving on into Trotless. So here's this glitch I was talking about earlier. Essentially, if we go in between this death square right here, and if we line up correctly with a Talon Trot, we're essentially able to activate our Talon Trot, which normally we are not able to do. And then once we do that, we're able to answer a question. Hopefully it's not a picture question. Perfect. And then if we get the answer wrong, normally if you answer a death square wrong, you die. However, here, since we're in Talon Trot, a move that we're normally not supposed to be in right now, we're able to just walk around. And so now what we're able to do is just, theoretically, I can show off this before we do our final timer challenge. We can just get to the end. The loading zone for the final boss is right there. But it's just as simple as that. Whew. But we're here to do mini games, not that. and perfect, we're doing this one too. So this is also just a memorization game. So another one of my non-favorites. So here, there's a way I memorize this. Essentially, I write down what the code is, which it looks like it's just 3 colors, which is honestly, that's really rare. And then we have the beak bus or ground pound on the specific turtles that we're singing. And so with the pattern that we have here, it's just in a big loop. This is honestly the ideal situation in a run where you get something close to the center or close to the stand over there. But yeah, that is time.
GG.
Sorry, I should have gave a warning there.
It's okay. It's fine.
So we're done with our first section. We're going to reset the console now. We're going to begin this Trotless 100%. So to just give a transition while we're waiting for this section, or for the whole like intro cutscenes to load, Trotless is a category that is on the main leaderboard, but it's a miscellaneous category. Essentially, what you do is, like I mentioned earlier, you have a move called Talon Trot, and so you essentially have to collect everything that you can without using Talon Trot, which is only like a couple levels. And so we're gonna have to do this. It's like very short, like 10 minutes. And so with that basic introduction of this like explained, we can begin this category in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Good luck.
All right, so here, skip the intro cutscene. We don't need to know why we're playing Banjo-Kazooie. And here we're gonna talk to Bottles, and this is essentially where we learn our moves for the beginning of the game. And so essentially what we're gonna be doing here is we're gonna be learning all the moves by pressing B. If you are playing for the first time, you're told you have the choice of either A, you know all the moves and you just press the B button, or if you don't know all the moves and you want to learn how to play, then you would press the A button and you would get tutorials on everything. But we're speedrunners, we know everything, so we can just press B. And so first, major part is just collecting honeycomb pieces, because this first section, which is Spiral Mountain, has 6 honeycomb pieces, which is your like little tutorial on all the moves, but also you can gain extra health because you begin with 5, and things get very dangerous towards the later half of the game. So we're just collecting some stuff. So yeah, we organized this showcase, this entire like 3 games in a format where we would do the shortest stuff first, and then we'll do the longest stuff last, just because, you know, it's also kind of not in order of chronologically on when they came out, because this game came out in 1998. Banjo Tooie, which is what we're doing next, it came out in 2000. And Donkey Kong 64 came out in 1999, but, you know, it's okay. But yeah, while we are getting this final honeycomb piece, and we're going to enter Grunty's lair, if you have anything to read, Kira, that would be a great time.
Yeah, I always have a couple announcements, and if you want to know about some of our other awesome communities and events that we have within GDQ, there's a couple of them here. I want to give a special shout out to the Frame Fatales. They are a community of women and femmes who share a passion for speedrunning, gaming, and charity. They have 2 flagship events. In addition to that, they host activities year-round in their community Discord, like Game of the Month and Randomizer events. You can type !FF in chat to learn more and get involved. So everybody in there is super nice, super supportive, and just loves to do things. So if you ever want to be part of a community, they're definitely one place you would love to be.
Yes. Shout out to Fatals. All right, so now we have entered Grunty's lair. We have grabbed our first Jiggy. We collect 11 of them in this run. Actually, 12, sorry. Because we actually get 2 in the lair and then 10 in the actual level. And so we're going to be doing a lot of Jiggy dances here. Get used to the Jiggy dances here, because we are not going to see them in Banjo Tooie, unfortunately, because they just completely eliminated them, unfortunately. So yeah, now we've opened Mumbo's Mountain. So this is where our main, like, questing, I guess, begins. So Mumbo's Mountain, like I said, it's the first level of Banjo Kazooie. And normally this is like your introduction to like, oh, here are enemies, here are some more moves you can learn, and everything you'll be collecting throughout your adventure. And so we're essentially going to be grabbing everything that we have here, which is 100 notes, 2 honeycomb pieces, 5 Mumbo tokens, which are going to help us much later. And then 10 Jiggies, and then also a Grunty switch, which unlocks a like bonus Jiggy at the end of the level. So what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be unlocking the first important move for this, which is beak busting. So essentially, beak busting is the move that we use to ground pound, and so we have these huts that we have to ground pound to destroy them, and they have a predetermined number of things that come out of them. So like there was notes, here are some eggs, all the sort. And what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be actually lining up some things so that we can skip some dances, because like I said, Banjo does in fact dance with the Jiggies, and so we're going to be getting the termite, which is a transformation that we'll be seeing much later, which allows us to just skip some dances, because obviously a termite, unless a like termite in real life can dance, this termite cannot dance, unfortunately.
I have never seen a termite dance, but if I did, it'd be terrifying.
Yeah, honestly. All right, so there's a bottle section right there that you probably saw. Essentially, we don't talk to that one because that's actually where we learn Talon Trot, and you know that's kind of against the rules of what we're doing. So there's our first Jiggy. We get like a little like text of like, hey, you just collected a Jiggy for the first time, which kind of not true with us opening Mumbo's Mountain, but you know, bottles is bottles. And then here we're just gonna be collecting notes. And then here's like Bottles telling us to get Talon Trot, and we're like not listening to Bottles.
I'll definitely trust you over Bottles, Ad.
Yeah. You know, we don't need Talon Trot, at least not for now, hopefully. All right. Now we have this section. This section is interesting because we do a lot of things in specific ways to complete something, but like we don't officially complete them until we complete a different thing. It's really weird. So like here we get the orange from the tree, or mango, or honestly, whatever you think that is. I think it's an orange, and we give it to the little monkey there to give us a jiggy, so that we can get up here to learn egg aiming, or not egg aiming, but like how to shoot eggs. And then we go to Conga here, who will just shoot those oranges or mangoes, whatever. I don't know. And then just avoid them.
I'll say I've never seen an orange tree
Just
look
like
like
that.
this. I'm gonna say they're mangoes.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that jiggy, but we don't immediately collect it because I thought I felt that. We go up here to activate this grunty switch, which has a jiggy right there, which is the final thing we'll be collecting. But again, we still got things to do in this level. So just like that. All right, and in here,
This is probably a lot of fun to route.
yeah. You have to. I run on the 1.1 version of the game, which is I'm running on my the cartridge I've had since childhood. No, this is like one of the slower versions of the game because there's a 1.0 version which allows us to actually completely skip the termite transformation.
Really?
But I think it's more fun to see the termite in this section. I think it's more fun. And plus we collect Mumbo tokens, which honestly, just hearing Ikam Bokam is like a really awesome thing.
Yeah.
Ikam Bokam. All right, so here's our first Jiggy Dance skip. So essentially we completed collecting all the Jinjos there. And so if we do a little mid-air grab there, we're actually able to jump in the water. And, I don't think Banjo can dance while trying to surface. And so there's just no dance to it.
How much time does each dance skip save? Roughly.
Probably 3 seconds. So if you were able to find dance skips for a lot of them, it is very much helpful to oh, could we theoretically dance skip this Jiggy? Yes, then let's do it, unless it's slow. So getting the termite is slower than skipping 3 of these Jiggy dances that we're about to see. So it's a lot of thinking on oh, does this save more time or does this lose more time? So yeah. So now we are going to be transforming into the termite. And in here we're going to be collecting our final Jiggies, and then we'll be done with this category. Again, like I said, this is a really short category. But also really fun to just oh, I have nothing better to do tonight. Let's just do 10 Trotless runs.
I'm still amazed how
Just because
quickly
why not?
it goes through, because whenever I do these casually, I feel like I'm just hunting around so much. But yeah, after practicing this, who knows how many times, it's just nice to. These games in particular was what I'm trying to get at. The big collectathon games, there's a lot of stuff you have to get, all these notes, all these Jiggies. I think they're just one of the more fun ones to figure out and optimize, because there's so many possibilities for what you can do to really get down on the seconds.
Exactly. Okay, so now we are back in this tower that we entered. This is where our final couple of notes are. So just like that, boom, we have 100. When you collect 100 notes in Banjo Kazooie, you actually get a 1-up. And so, not useful for this, obviously, but in 100%, it can be useful in case oh, you are dying a lot. And in terms of 100%, you do a lot of death warps to go back to the beginning of the level. But yeah, that's our 10th Jiggy. We still have one more Jiggy to collect, which is the one at the very beginning. And that'll be pretty much it for Trotless and just Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah, so this is kind of the theme that we have going for the show tonight, folks. We're going to be doing some mini-game showcases. So for each game, and then we'll close with a
time.
GG! And then we'll close with a 100% IL of one of the stages. And again, kind of give you a nice little taste of all of these wonderful little rare platformers.
Yeah, exactly. So just one quick thing before we do our little switch off to Banjo Tooie is the reason why we consider this the end of the run for Trotless. You have to get the Talon Trot to climb up this, and there's no theoretical way you can really do this unless you're like TAS, obviously, to get up here without Talon Trot. So this is why this run is just so short. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah, Banjo's sister, just like, Grunty, you got her. Good job. I'm going to go take a nap. That's what it is. Anyway, folks, don't go anywhere. So if you... Welcome back from the break, everybody. And we've got Banjo Tooie on deck here. We're going to be doing some more minigame showcases and a 100% run of Mayahem Temple, I believe is what it's called. It's a tongue twister for me specifically. But if you're looking to get more involved with the GDQ community, you can always join the official GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix role to stay in the loop on upcoming events, chat with staff, and more. Use !Discord and Twitch chat for an invite and more info. And without further ado, let's welcome back Ad129 here to showcase some mini games here in Banjo Tooie. How is this going to work here? Do we have a file prepped? What are we going to go through here?
Well, hello. Well, I am back here with Banjo Tooie, and yes, so essentially with Mayahem Temple 100%, we actually begin on a clean file, which is actually like a really like surprising thing with Banjo Tooie speedrunning, because normally we would have a file, which is what I have next to it, which is a Genjo manipulation file, which is a pre-made file. But here we are just able to just start on an empty file. So yeah, we'll be doing Mayhem Temple 100% first. And then we'll be doing those mini games afterwards. And then I have a really solid lineup. If you know the Tooie mini games, you're gonna really love the ones that I have lined up.
All right, I'm looking forward to it.
But yeah, without further ado, we can begin in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Good luck.
Awesome.
Yeah, isn't there a very lengthy tutorial section in this game as well? Like just getting to like the first actual worlds you have. This game's huge.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, this game is like, compared to Banjo Kazooie, this game is just like, it's so big. To give you some numbers, since at least for me, I work really well with numbers. Banjo Kazooie's totals for everything is 90 jiggies, no, 100 jiggies, sorry, 900 notes, and around 24 honeycombs. Which that's already a lot for just a simple like platformer / collectathon, but Banjo Tooie just completely blows that out of the water, because we have 90 jiggies, 900 notes, which those two say the same, 24 honeycombs, which okay, yeah, but then we have to also collect 25 Cheeto pages. Trying to remember everything else. 45 Jinjos to complete their collective families, which we'll get into that much later. And just like 3 other things that I can't remember right now. There's just so much in Banjo Tooie. And it's also very reflective into the speedrun for 100%. A normal Banjo Kazooie 100% run takes like 2 hours, if not a little bit more. And Banjo Tooie 100% takes 4.5 hours. Which is like, wow. But yeah, this little intro section is very long, so we just fought our first boss that we'll be doing in this area. That is Klungo, by the way. And so essentially that's our like mini tutorial on, hey, do you know your moves from Banjo Kazooie? If not, well, good luck. Try to learn them now. But thankfully you got Spiral Mountain, which was what we saw a couple minutes ago in Banjo Kazooie. But again, that's not going to be our main world this time. We're now in Iolo Hags. So with Mayhem Temple, yeah,
funny name.
Iolo Hags.
That's great.
So yeah, with Mayhem Temple, we begin the first 5 minutes of the run is just essentially just trying to get to the level itself. And so here we have King Jingling, who gives us our first Jiggy, which allows us to open up the first level, which is Mayhem Temple. And essentially, what we're able to do from there is just go on and just get everything that we can. And so, something about Banjo Tooie, which is really, it's great in some aspects, but also when you just run it so much like me, it gets a little bit annoying sometimes. But there are a lot of cutscenes, and so there's a lot of downtime in like 100%. Like there's essentially like 2 snack / bathroom breaks that are implemented in the run just because of cutscenes. Thankfully for Banjo Tooie's like intro, we're able to skip some of the cutscenes, but there's still a lot of cutscenes we'll be seeing. So yeah, we're gonna be doing our first real kind of glitch. We did one at the like first 5 seconds of the run, but here we're doing another one that's sort of related. This is called White House Skip. Nice, first try. That's actually a really hard one, honestly. Okay. Essentially, what we had to do is the way the beak bus works in this game, instead of Kazooie, in Kazooie, you just do a straight fall to the ground. But with Banjo Tooie, you're actually able to kind of move a little bit forward to just kind of control the beak bust. And so that allows you to just get a little bit of an extra height boost to get on top of things. And so that we did that there for the White House skip, and also the first glitch to skip a cutscene at the beginning of the run. So yeah, we're gonna be doing the first boring section of the run, which is opening up Mayahem Temple. So while we're opening things up, Kiara, you have like 3 minutes essentially. It's a lot of cutscenes in this section.
You're telling me I have to fill 3 minutes of time here? Why we can't just sit in silence for 3 straight minutes as we watch you slowly complete a very simple puzzle. There's only 5 pieces. That's it. Oh my gosh, it's free basically.
Yeah.
These are kind of neat puzzles though, where like the thing is animated. And
yeah.
What the heck is this? This is your first time you've seen anything, right? So this is your introduction to some area somewhere we don't know anything about, and like we're not going to see that guy until much later.
Exactly. It's like, oh, like here's this character. Where is this character in whatever you're doing? I don't know. Figure it out.
It's setting the hook for later, right?
Yeah, essentially. I mean, to be fair, that character's like story is really interesting. We'll go over it when we get to that area, but there's Banjo Tooie has a lot of awesome story writing. Like literally the opening game, like cutscene, like this is the reason why I really love Banjo Tooie in terms of story, is if you grew up with Banjo Kazooie and you like really love the story there, and then you get Banjo Tooie and you play it for the first time. In the intro cutscene, like we established that Bottles is our friend, and like Bottles taught us all the moves and everything. And then in the intro cutscene, Grunty comes back from the dead after killing her in Banjo Kazooie, and instead of like Grunty being dead, now Grunty kills Bottles, and it's like, wow, that is like a lot to process in a intro cutscene.
Yeah, your friend is gone.
Exactly, but it's what gives Banjo Tooie so much charm, and that's why I really love it. But yeah, now we are here in the level itself, Mayahem Temple. So Mayahem Temple basically follows these, at least for like the first like section, follows the standard 100% route, where we collect notes like climbing up here, get to Mumbo, activate the Goliath, and also just learn egg game while we're there. So here's our new person who helps us learn moves. This is Jam Jars. And Jam Jars is teaching us our moves kind of like in a military style, very drill instructor core essentially. And so now we have egg game, and so we're able to now just shoot eggs wherever we want instead of just straightforward. But we're not going to use that right away. We're going to actually go into Mumbos first. And so here we have a Globo. Globos are the way you interact with both Mumbo and then a character we won't be seeing till the very end, which is Wumba. And this is essentially how we use Mumbo and Wumba to just help us do things. So the gimmick with Mumbo in this game is Mumbo will you can actually control Mumbo here, and we're able to activate different things, or do different things with different spells. So in this level, the gimmick is essentially rising things from statues. And so we're going to be doing that with the Goliath here. And this is like essentially our tutorial with Mumbo. So yeah. So here we collect 80 notes, and we're actually done with the first requirement of just 100%, which is all the notes, because our treble clef is actually right here. And so treble clefs give you 20 notes. And so now we have all 100 notes in this area. And so now we're going to activate the Goliath to open up 2 sections that we normally wouldn't be able to enter unless we did later stages. So yeah, the route in this is really awesome because if you know Banjo Tooie, it's infamous for its backtracking and just, that area is just completely locked behind something that we can't do until we unlocked a move in like the 5th level. So we have to come back to the 1st level after getting that. But with this category specifically, we're able to do everything before, without entering another level, which is really awesome. So yeah, here's the Goliath. The Goliath has a kick move, so we're gonna destroy that little thing because that's access to an area called Prison Compound, which we'll be doing very soon. And then here, we're gonna be going into essentially the little beginning area to enter an area called Jade Snake Grove. And so here, we're gonna hit this rock because this has a flight pad, which we'll be using much later. And then opening this door. So I'm gonna wait for regular feathers here because we're gonna be doing a lot of flying as well. And so we're still following basically the 100% route. We're gonna grab this Jiggy, and then once we grab this Jinjo, this is where we start to like divert the route into just doing what we need to just complete this level in 100%. Because normally in the actual 100% route, we actually take a visit back to Mayahem Temple around like 2 to 3 times, just because having those moves actually does really help. And so, yeah. So here we reset the console because the way both Banjo games, they work the same way in terms of saving. If you enter a loading zone, it actually saves on that loading zone. So we're able to reset on that Jinjo collect. And so essentially we skip that Jinjo cutscene. And so that's also the reason why we don't use the manipulation file, because with the manipulation file, the intention for it is that we grab as many Jiggies from the Jinjo families in Mayahem Temple and just completing those families. And normally that Jinjo that we just collected has the white Jinjo, which has 1 family member. And so it would normally give us 2 cutscenes that overlap. But if we use that file in this category, we actually will get 2 cutscenes. Obviously, we reset on 1, but the other one we'll be just watching it. And so it actually saves time to just use a blank file here, which is honestly really cool. But yeah,
I'll be honest, I did not know this game auto-saved until right now, to be exact.
Yeah, it's such a cool mechanic because like if you look at just games from the N64 era, most of them just don't autosave, and like it's really cool that we see like Rareware implementing autosaving not only in the Banjo series but also in Donkey Kong 64. Albeit it's a different way of autosaving, but we'll get into that. All right, so here we're gonna do some damage because we're gonna actually be doing our first death warp here. So we're gonna grab this little warp pad, and we're gonna be grabbing a Jiggy and then a Cheeto page. So again, this essentially follows the 100% route, just again with like an asterisk on it. So yeah, we're gonna go up here. Normally you would have to like grab this Jiggy, really you would have to do small movements on the joystick to grab that, but a regular jump with the Talon Trot allows us to just get that Jiggy. So we save time, but just not having to do like some of the slow walking. But yeah, there's our first Cheeto page. And so I guess I should talk about the requirements for this category. Like I mentioned earlier, there are 100 notes. There are 10 Jiggies that we have to collect. But then also we have to collect 3 Cheeto pages, 3 honeycomb pieces, the 5 Jinjo families, or the 5 Jinjos in this level, sorry, and then the 3 moves, and then probably whatever else I'm missing. And so there's just a lot that we have to do. And so we're just going to be following the route, essentially. All right, so here's another move that we're going to be doing. That's Briegel Blaster, I think. And so we're actually able to do... Honestly, it's my favorite mechanic of this game, and it's going into first-person Banjo. So if you like GoldenEye, this is like... Banjo Tooie's your game, because there's 3 GoldenEye sections.
Yeah. Freaking love it.
Yeah. You can consider this a mini game, I guess. You're collecting a lot of these little like statue things, and you need 20 of them to activate the boss. And so we're just gonna be maneuvering around in here. And then I'm doing a mechanic called strafing, which is, if you know first-person shooters, strafing is just kind of the faster way to move in this area. And so we're doing that while collecting these little things. I gotta be really careful. All right, there we go. We opened the first door because it's 10, and then now we need 20. So there are a couple things hidden in here, and like this section is intended to be like a massive maze until like, oh, that section's connected to like these rooms and all that. Like here, there's this door you can enter that has our Jinjo in there. There we go. Perfect. And I made the cycle. Awesome. And then here, we get a very useful move, which is golden eggs, which is essentially infinite eggs. And so we get that there because this is the closest we'll get to the boss with it. And in this first room, we'll be collecting a Jiggy, the slightly sacred chamber.
Yeah, I forgot about this part. Yeah.
And then here, we have our final 2 little statues. And now we have access to the, I believe, just the sacred chamber. Yeah, really
sacred chamber. Yes. It's a very specific sense of humor, and I'm all here for it.
Exactly. The humor in the Banjo games, it's so, like, I love it. Especially, like, the, like, sarcasm and just, like, kind of like the, like, making fun of each character type of vibe that Kazooie just does.
Yeah, Kazooie's kind of a jerk. I mean, but
yeah.
She does do all the work in Banjo Kazooie. Like, Banjo's just dead weight for Kazooie to do everything. Like, yeah, every move in Banjo Kazooie is like, Kazooie can now do this, and this, and this, and this.
Yeah. You know, I'm really happy about that, too, with this game, is Rareware really played into that gimmick of, oh, you know, these characters actually can do their own thing. So, like, we won't be seeing it in this run, but if you watch, like, 100% or even the, like, middle category, which is any percent no DCW or no delayed cutscene warp, you actually see segments where you do stuff as just Banjo or just Kazooie instead of the normal duo. And it's really cool. And, like, all those different sections have their own, like, different movement tech that you do. So if you y'all need to check out, like, 100% speedruns of this game, because they get really wild in terms of, like, the number of glitches you do. All right, so now we're done with this temple, and so now we're able to just def warp again. There's gonna be a lot of def warping in this like first couple of minutes, or first couple of like 10 minutes. So yeah, now we're gonna be doing our first flight section. So this is like, these can get decently hard because, again, controlling the flight sections can be really like, oh, it's hard. But if you do perform it well, which hopefully we do, they look really awesome. And so we're going to do our first one here. So here, it's a flight pad that we activated earlier. There's a Jinjo up here. Nice. Now we're able to fly up to the top of the temple. Grab, oh, so close. That's such a common thing I do. We grab that Jiggy, and then we're gonna fly here. This is a modified thing from the normal route. I do a glitch much later, which allows us to kind of get into that area much quicker. And so we're going to be grabbing that Cheeto page from there right then and there. So it's more of like a modified advanced route that has a faster glitch since no one really runs Mayhem Temple 100% anymore. And so most people don't route this anymore with the like modern glitches, which is kind of unfortunate, but it does happen. But yeah, we just shot some flies and now we have another Jiggy. So we're really flying by now with all the Jiggies we're collecting. Here's another Jinjo. And now we're entering Prison Compound, which has a section that can get really terrifying. Essentially, after we collect the Jiggy that's over there in that area, we're going to be doing an infamous section that thankfully has been routed out of the any percent route, and it's called Pillars. And you'll see why I kind of dread this section sometimes.
I think I know what's coming. Yeah.
Yeah. But thankfully, this one, you can just get some boots and just walk over, get this Jiggy right here. Just like that. And then, you know, who needs those boots anyways? You can just take damage and just go over there quick.
Yes, that makes perfect sense.
Whoa. Yeah. Such a goofy game. All right, so now we're going to go up here. So now we're almost done with the Cheeto page requirement. Again, we just have one more Cheeto page here. So this is going to be another task that will be done with for this 100. Oh, okay. You know, just taking a little detour for a bit. It's okay. So yeah, we're going to do that again. That's something really fun about the Kazooie games is sometimes the perspective does throw you off. Like there, I thought I was going to make it, but no. Banjo was a little bit too short on that. Let's actually, there we go. Yeah, here's our Cheeto page. We're done with the Cheeto pages, but now we're entering Pillars. So there's a Jiggy up there. And so how do we get there? Normally you would have grenade eggs and knock these pillars. You would knock that Jiggy down each pillar, but we don't have grenade eggs. We have to do something much more difficult. We have to line ourselves up and do some very precise beak busts over here. So here's our first one. Nice. Oh, I need a better angle. Ooh, might be too. Okay, there we go. And then. Oh, so close. Yeah, and like those, you have to do 3 of those in a row, and it's really hard to do because they are just so precise. Thankfully, at least for the last one, you do take damage, but like these 2 right here, when jumping from them, don't take damage. So as long as like I don't die, that's all that matters here. I have the estimate very high because of Pillars, because you never know.
Oh.
All right. Oh, I'm gonna retry that one. There we go.
Nice. That was amazing.
So yeah, that's Pillars. Awesome. So now we can Death Warp out of here. We're done with Prison Compound. All right. So you might be wondering what's left. So we have 2 sections left, which require a glitch that we're about to do right now. And it's called Slick Clip. There's a different name. We're not going to call it that name. We're going to call it Slick Clip because we're essentially going to be doing a beak bomb, which is a like what we saw earlier, into a little like slit into the geometry of the game to get out of bounds. And so we're going to be doing that twice here. So here's our first one. I'm going to focus for a bit. Nice. First try for the first one. All right, so now we're out of bounds. And so now we're able to get into this area very early on, technically. So we enter it from out of bounds. And so this area, normally the way this works, the treasure chamber, is you would actually enter through that main entrance by hitting those like little like heads with eggs and then enter the area. And then they open that door that we saw earlier in this in that area to enter this area. But if we go out of bounds, the doors, you can just access the area very early. And so now we're in this area. And so the essential, this is a really hard section. So essentially we're in the 5th level of the game, which is Pterodactyl Land. And essentially we have to do this little side quest to collect a like little trophy thing from the character that's like in the main room of the treasure chamber. We're essentially trying to save it. And so we have to do, at least with the speedrun, some precise movement to essentially get to this area and grab the little thing. And so here, we're gonna go backtrack. And then normally you would be grabbing this and walking very slowly, like, because it is a very heavy trophy, just like that. But if we have Talon Trout, we're able to kind of skip most of that, or if all of it, if you have like a proper camera angle. But yeah, we're done with this area. That I'm actually really happy that took second try, because that can get like very scary with health. But yeah, now we're turning this in, and we're just gonna be seeing like cutscenes for like a minute. So, Kira, if you have anything to say.
Well, I have something that literally every single person should be doing in Twitch chat right now. That you should be going and following twitch.tv/ad129. You can get a shout out for them here. So not only are you pretty awesome at the Banjo games, you also have something fun coming up at a certain Awesome Games Done Quick event in a certain block at a certain wee hours of the morning. You can tell us a little bit about it. Yeah. What do you got coming up?
Yeah, so at Awesome Games Done Quick 2026 this year, I will be running for the Awful Block, which is on Wednesday night going into Thursday morning. Essentially, I will be running a game called 12 Bananas. So you may have not heard of this game, and that's good, because you should come in and watch this run blind, because this run, this game, it's interesting. It's awful. And so definitely, if you haven't seen what this game is, don't. Just come in and just see what it is in person or online, obviously. And yeah. Along with that, I'll also be participating in the 70-star 70-person relay that King J0444 is hosting on Saturday at like, I think 12 p.m. local time for that. I'll be running Wom's Fortress 100%, or Wom's Fortress 100 coin. Whoops. We're doing a lot of 100%, so that's why it threw me off. I'll be doing Wom's 100% because I did that at a different event a couple years ago for another relay. So if you want to watch more of me, I'll be running Mario 64, which is also another N64 game that I run. I run way too many games, specifically from the N64 era. All right, so we're doing this glitch one more time. And this is normally what my attempts look like, by the way. Just bonking into this wall. This trick is just infamous for just like not working half the time, which is, yeah, that checks out with Banjo Tooie. I'm gonna grab more feathers because I don't want to like really risk it. And also I don't want to die really, because if I do die, I will have to like make the entire trip from the treasure chamber back to here instead of like the beginning of the level. And so we're just gonna talk to jam jars more, because jam jars allows us to refill our health very quickly. So here we go. And just keep trying it until we get it. Because the final thing that we have left, by the way, sorry, I forgot to mention that, is we have kickball, which is a very fun minigame. If you don't know what kickball is, oh, it's such a fun minigame. It's essentially like football or soccer, but it's with three other characters that are actively trying to just like bully you. And so we get to end this amazing run with my least favorite minigame from this game. There we go. All right, so before we even get to do kickball, we have to do some setup stuff for it. So we're gonna go out of bounds. We're gonna line up here. And then essentially the reason why we go out of bounds here is because this character right there is blocking the entrance and will like push you out of the way if you like try to go into the door. And so we go out of bounds here to essentially just get past him. And so normally what you would have to do is you would have to transform into the little stone character that we're about to see and talk to him, and he'll move out the way. Then you can begin the whole kickball series. But that's really slow. And so normally, and this is why it's a modified route, is I did that glitch instead of a glitch that is still in the route, but again, it's outdated, called, what is it called? I have the route open just in case. Stadium Early. And so it's a run-killing glitch, essentially. And so I don't want to essentially spend an entire like decade on that, so I chose to do the glitch that I love doing in regular NA%, which is Slick Clip. But yeah, we are now this little cute character, and now we're going to be doing Kickball, which is the final like 3 to 4 minutes of the run. So yeah, before we enter, we have to get the final honeycomb piece, and then we'll essentially hopefully have everything. Again, there's a lot to keep track of, so hopefully we do have everything here. This should be our third one though. Just like that. There we go. And so while we do Kickball, honestly, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, Tooie has just a lot of downtime. So like I just yap. I love to yap about this game. I love to yap about all 3 games, specifically Tooie, because it's just, there's so much to the game. But also Donkey Kong 64, which the yapping in that one's going to be a lot. But yeah, welcome to Kickball. So it's staged in 3 different rounds: quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. And so the purpose of the game is to shoot these yellow balls into your little goal area. And essentially you try to get the most points. And so essentially the first round, which is quarterfinals, is very easy. They walk very slowly, and sometimes they don't choose to troll you that much. But sometimes they can, but it's quarterfinals. They tend to not do that. Their AI is not like programmed to kind of do that. But once we get to semifinals, they start pushing you. They start taking the ball from your hand. A lot of just rude tactics to try to win. But yeah, that's our first round done. And now we're heading into semifinals. So here, talk to this character. And so the thing about Kickball, in terms of how we do it in 100%, this is one of the reasons why we come back to this level for a 3rd time in the 100%, is there's actually another Kickball after these 3. There's a Kickball series, essentially, in Hailfire Peak. I forgot the name for some reason. And in those ones, you have another same quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. And essentially, there is a way you can connect both Mayahem Temple and Hailfire Peak. And so we just do both kickballs at the same time. But it's also like 3 hours in. And if you do lose a kickball match, you lose like an automatic like 40 seconds, if not a minute. So it can be like run killing if you lose to kickball, which it has happened to me way too much, in always the dumbest ways. It's always either by like a point or my ball did not go in on the final second. And it's always like, why? But yeah, now we're on to the final kickball area, or the finals, yeah. Ugh. And this is where they're going to just start playing like so aggressively. There's also bombs in this finals. They introduce bombs, which just stun you and stun other characters. So there's a lot to like be careful in this one. Oh, that is awesome RNG. Getting 2 yellows right off the bat. Oh gosh. So yeah. But yeah, after this, we're essentially done with Mayahem Temple 100%.
Wonderful. You're doing great.
Oh, they're fighting for that ball. Did you see that? they were struggling. Oh, okay. Oh. I don't think the bomb counts for any. Oh gosh. Yeah, this is what the bomb does. Here, I'm gonna try to like get them all in one area and just. Oh, okay. Never mind. Hold on. Oh, it's. I'm trying to like stun them. Okay. So close. Anyways, time is coming up real soon. Get ready on time. And if I'm on top of it, no, I'm not. And time.
Very nice.
All right, just to verify that we do have everything. Just in case I did forget something. Let's see. Yeah, we have everything. Awesome. So yeah, that has been Mayhem Temple 100%. But we still have some mini games to showcase in this game because, again, there's more to Banjo Tooie than just Mayhem Temple 100%. So I have a list of mini games that we'll be doing that should hopefully take up the entire 15-minute slot. And essentially, these are also just my favorite mini games to do in the game. And so, essentially, how we're able to play these mini games is if we go to the main menu here, we have a little section called mini games. You can also do bosses and watch cutscenes from the game. But the thing we are caring for today is the mini game section. So here you have every single mini game from the game except for one, which is Canary Mary. If you know the Canary Mary stuff,
yeah, I don't blame you.
yeah, it's not on here, thankfully, and for good reason. So thankfully, we're not going to be doing Canary Mary tonight because that's just a lot of mashing. But yeah, we're going to be starting with Clinker's Cavern, which is a first-person shooter area. So we can begin this in 3, 2, 1, and go.
I do really like the first-person spots.
Yeah. I really love these two specifically that we'll be doing because they're essentially speedruns of how fast can you do these areas. And so we're going to be doing a lot of strafing and a lot of just awesome movement inside these, like, for here, it's like inside of Grunty Industries. And then like the other one inside Glitter Gulch Mine. So yeah. Here we're destroying these, like, I forget the names of them. I don't know the names of the characters, honestly. But we're destroying those things that are... Yeah. Essentially, we're just clearing those vents. And so we're able to just kind of use grenade eggs. We can use normal eggs, which is what we did at the beginning for some of them. But towards the end, we're going to really use grenade eggs because we're going to be shooting some of them from, like, across the wall. So, like, here, there's that one. Oop, this character's just in our way. We're going to shoot this wall right here. There's going to be one up here. Okay. And then boom, just like that. And then the final one, we shoot through that. And that one complete, 65 seconds. I'll take it.
GG's.
That's like around what I normally get with this area. All right, so the next one we'll be doing is called Ordnance Storage. So this one's, oh, that's kickball. Oh no, that's kickball. We just saw kickball.
Do we need more kickball? The answer is yes.
I don't think we...
Yes, we do.
It did say rematch, which is really funny. I like, there's like the little things in this game really just add the charm. Like it could just say like finals like it did before, but it says rematch and it's like, oh, that's awesome. All right, now we're doing ordnance storage. And essentially in this one, we're essentially having to do a move called beak bayonet. And so we have to destroy the little TNTs, and we cannot shoot them at all, or they do in fact blow up, and it blows up the entire mine, which defeats the purpose of the minigame. So we have to be decently careful with this. So yeah, one thing that we would normally do in this section, in 100%, and also in any percent no DCW, is doing some damage, like taking some damage, because we do Death Warp at the end of this. I'm just gonna do the standard route without without taking much damage, just because I don't want to kind of risk that right now. So yeah, and then all these sections are intended to be mazes because normally you're given, I think on this one, 180 seconds, and then for Clinker's Cavern you're given 200 seconds, and so like it gives you like wiggle room if you get lost in the maze, but like also, you know, it's still supposed to be challenging. But yeah, that is this one complete because the last one is right here. Nice. 75. All right, so we're done with first person stuff. So you got a taste of that one, but now we're going to be getting a taste of Dodgem Dome. So Dodgem Dome is honestly, it's one of my favorites, honestly, because essentially it's just bumper cars with a twist essentially. We have to collect a certain number of these like little, they're called twinklies in the game, and so we have to collect for this match 40. But for this, it's honestly just a high score run. But as you can see, the enemies here just really love to bully you. Specifically the one in the black car or black bumper car, like that one really loves to just like do its own thing and just take out some of the twinklies so you can't get them. And so like the yellow one and the purple one / pink one like try to trap you, and then the black one just tries to eliminate twinklies from you. So it's like, oh, so they're working completely against me. But yeah, 59 is a really good number for that. So yeah, now we're going to be doing another level, another mini game from Witchy World. So Witchy World has the most mini games because there's just so many different carnival games that we do. So here we're doing one called Hoop Hurry. This one's a solo Kazooie mini game. So this is, I think, the only one we'll be doing as solo Kazooie. But essentially what we're able to do here is if we grab the speed shoes, we have to jump into rings. And again, it's red for 1 point, green for 2 points, and then blue for the 3 points. And we just grab as many hoops that we can. Well, we mainly try to go for the blue ones. Oh, there we go. And then all these spawn completely randomly, so you just have to like kind of hope if you want to try to get a really high score. We do have, for Banjo Tooie, we do have a thing called the memer boards, which is every single category or just high scores of anything in Banjo Tooie that really won't be put in like a category extensions. And so every single minigame that has a high score, or also like just timers, essentially there are like world records for those. But yeah, I'll take a 71. That's actually, I think that's like one below my PB on this.
Not bad, not bad, not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Awesome. Next one is, I forget the actual name of it. Balloon Burst. There we go. So this one is in the same area essentially, but this time we're flying in midair and we have to shoot a lot of balloons. And so if you really love the sound of Kazooie shooting eggs, this is the mini game for it. Because we're just going to be hearing a lot of the shooting. Yeah. Yeah. Shout outs to the golden egg.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, I don't know my high score on this one, honestly, but I'll be happy with whatever that is above the normal like number you would beat this at, which is 50. So yeah, the reason why I'm really good at the minigame specifically is because I run 100%, and in 100%, you do almost every single minigame on that minigames tab in the main menu because each of them has a Jiggy attached to them. And so essentially, we just have to get really good to the point of like, can we just beat the minigame with its like lowest requirement? And so a good way of doing that is just going for high scores. I'll take a 77. All right. So we're done with Witchy World. There's one minigame that I really wish I could show, but it's really long. It's 5 minutes long, and it's Saucer Apparel. Essentially, it's just you shooting a lot of targets, and I believe my high score on that one is like 600 points, 620. But again, it's really long, so we're just gonna skip it for now.
But what if? It's 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes. What if you got executive approval? Because I really like this minigame. You know. I mean, what do you say, Ad?
If we do get executive approval, we could.
I say 5 minutes. Let's do it, Ad. Let's do it.
Yeah.
If you're okay.
Honestly,
you're okay with doing it.
No, I love Saucer Apparel.
Me too. I want to see it.
Yeah. And I believe we have been underestimated with a couple of things. So honestly, yeah, we can do it.
You'll be perfectly fine. Let's show everybody some flying saucer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this forgot to mention, this is the sub one. This one's in Jolly Roger Lagoon. Don't get it confused with Jolly Roger Bay from Mario 64. Again, whoever Jolly Roger is, they have a lot of locations. But yeah, we're essentially a sub and we have to shoot torpedoes. So I'll take whatever I got on that one. That looked pretty high. Whoops. Since we are adding Saucer of Peril, I'll do that one last. You know, the best one for last.
Yeah, the grand finale.
All right, Champa's Belly. This one is kind of the weird one out of everything. We're inside a dinosaur right now, and we're just gonna be shooting a lot of like the gunk inside of him. And so, yeah, this one you can also get really like you saw my high score there, 115. I actually achieved that one like 2 nights ago, which I was really proud of. But essentially, the strategy for this one is just run around and just start shooting. Just hope that the blue ones spawn a lot.
I love the simplicity.
Yep. Shoutouts to just 3D like game areas like this where you're just able to just like do this and just do whatever you want, essentially. Oh, they're really not spawning in good locations. Thankfully, we have so much time for this that like the normal requirement is 75, which we're obviously going to be clearing pretty easily. But yeah. Ooh, actually, honestly, if we get really lucky with these ones, we could honestly beat that high score. Oh, that blue one did just disappear. And that, ooh, nice. Hold on. Nice, okay. 120. Nice. That's 5 more than what I got 2 nights ago.
Good job.
I can submit that one to the meme board. All right. Pot O Gold. So we're going to be skipping the kickballs from Hillfire Peak because, again, I don't like those. And so we're just going to be going into this one. This one is another speedrun, kind of. Essentially, you're going to be zooming in and you have to just shoot all these different patterns. And so there's 100 of them. But honestly, the strategy for this one is just literally have your joystick like kind of halfway through, like a full like direction, and then just start shooting. And that's how you beat this one. So like literally just spinning in circles here. And then now we're on this one to grab this one. I don't want to mess that one up. Ooh, don't be too fast. There we go. And with 8 seconds to spare. Nice. I think that's also a PB. Oh, wow. I'm getting PBs on these like later ones mainly, and it's kind of shocking because like these ones are the ones that I practice the most. But yeah, now we have 3 more to show off. So here we're gonna be going to the Zubba's minigame. This one we're a B. Honestly, the one transformation that transfers from Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie. And essentially, we're going to be shooting some Zubbas that fly out, these little B characters. So this one, we try to do it in 3D and not zoomed in. Sorry, in third person, not in first person, because the homing on third person is much more, it's like better for some reason. And so we do it in third person. But, you know, this minigame just not work half the time because sometimes the homing just like fails you. And also just the Zubbas are just choosing not to like fly out today. So yeah, this one's very much a fly around. I just got hit. Okay. This one is the one that, like I said, is the one that is pretty hard. So anyways, enjoy the sideways B for a bit.
Hey.
All right. One more. Or 2 more, I guess. Sorry. I forgot that we're doing this one, which is Trash Can Germs. So this one is another weird one, but it's also just because of its story. We're inside a big trash can, and we have to destroy the germs in here to essentially like help the little like can over there pass his health inspection. Again, I love Banjo Tooie. It's so quirky, and you never see a story like that in like another game unless it's like goofy like this. Because like asking, like Twitch chat, I do have a question for you. Who is, if you know the Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie characters, who would be a health inspector? Because who is this word about?
This is a great question. This is a really good question, actually.
Yeah. I honestly think it would be Bottles' wife, because we see Bottles' wife in the beginning of the game, and honestly, like, something like Health Inspector does like suit her.
What if it's just like another Grunty is the the health inspector? I feel like that's also something Grunty would do.
That's a really good point. I see someone in chat say Bottles, which, yeah, I also see that one with my answer. So honestly, yeah, I like that one too. All right, so we're doing our final mini game here, and then we're gonna be going into DK64. Essentially, with this one, we have to shoot all these targets, and so essentially, we're gonna be going into every single area in in Witchy World. And essentially, we have to collect, or we have to get around 500 points to win. Or at least get every single thing from it. And so, we're going to be shooting for a high score here. Again, like I said earlier, my high score is 620, which is a very high number compared to the normal 500 you would need to get. And so, we're just going to be doing a lot of that. But honestly, while we're just shooting all these targets, Kiara, if you have anything to say before, obviously, we'll be switching to DK64 next. So if you have anything before that, like, now is a great time.
DK64randomizer.com or something is what most people would want me to say, but this is such a great little mini game. I'm amazed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm amazed how long it is, and I'm still just amazed at this game fitting on a single N64 cartridge with how big it is. But like,
exactly.
I guess when you have a texture this low res, it doesn't take too much space. But even then,
yeah,
I feel like I save a low res picture, and then I'd be at 30 megabytes just with one of these texture files. You know? So it's like, yeah, where are they?
Yeah.
What's the magic? How are they doing it? I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. Like a fun fact about at least DK64 is they couldn't fit the entire game without it crashing onto the cartridge itself. So that's why, if you always wondered why you have to have an expansion pack to play Donkey Kong 64, it's because the game is just so large that the game will literally become unstable if it doesn't have an expansion pack.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And even then, like, another fun fact about DK64, if you leave the console on for over, like, I think 15 plus hours, the game will just randomly crash with the expansion pack in it. So, like, the game can barely handle itself with how big it is.
That's actually hilarious. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. All right, so now we're coming to the end of this mini game. Essentially, we're just getting so many points now. We are literally almost at 500 just exiting this area, which means, honestly, we could honestly beat this PB that I have. We just have to get really lucky. All the things here are RNG, so I would have to get a couple more blues here to get this PB. Okay. Here, this one coming up is always blue. Okay, I got a lot of those. Nice. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, it's all good. Still getting into the 600 range is pretty impressive. Yeah, 611. Nice. And that will be time.
GG.
Awesome.
Well done.
So yeah, that has been Banjo Tooie. This is one of my most favorite games of all time. And so again, I love that I got to show off Banjo Tooie, but stick around, obviously. We still got one more game to show off.
We do. That's DK64 or not. I'm so used to saying randomizer. Like, oh my God, Kuiper is going to have a field day with me on this one. I'm so ingrained. Like, even if I'm not even playing it, it's just like, it's just going to come in. All right. No, it's DK64 Vanilla, the original, or banana flavored, we can call it that. Yeah. Similar to Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie, we're going to be going in and doing a 100% of one of the stages, as well as some. Welcome back from the break, everybody. You're watching Game Masters here on Games Done Quick Hotfix. I'm your host, Kiara_TV, and we've got one final game. We are returning to Donkey Kong 64, not randomizer. I know, shocking, right? Before we do, Black in a Flash is a community that uplifts and connects Black speedrunners of all levels, offering a space to collaborate on speedruns, challenge runs, and randomizers while celebrating Black voices in the speedrunning scene. You can learn more or apply to join at gdq.gg/BAF and follow at blackintheflash.bluesky.social for updates. Don't miss their upcoming events, Speeding Through the Holidays, December 27th through the 28th, and Back to Black 2026 on February 5th through the 8th. Here we are once more, and once again, with Ad, who is going to be bringing us one final game, concluding my ever so lovely named Banjo Kong 64 trilogy. It came out before Banjo Tooie, but chronologically, I will say this takes place after Banjo Tooie. Okay. All right, Ad, what do you have in store for us today here for Donkey Kong 64?
Awesome. Yeah. Hello once again. If you are just joining in, I am Ad129, and this final thing we're doing for DK64 is honestly, it's the longest thing we're doing tonight, but also it's one of the most confident things I'm doing tonight. We're essentially going to be doing a modified-ish version of my 101% route, which if you don't know 101% is the 100% category of this game. Obviously, we can't do that for a hotfix, because that's 5 hours long. That's long. And so we're doing a very much shortened version, which is Jungle Japes 100%, because essentially we're going to be collecting all the moves we need and all the Kongs we need to get everything we can in Jungle Japes. So without further ado, we can begin this in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right. So now that we have begun the file, so this is, like I said earlier, Donkey Kong 64. This game came out in 1999. And this is actually the first speedrun that I ever learned back in 2016. And then technically my first ever submitted run on speedrun.com with the 101% category. Again, I was a very much a person who just loves 100%. So first things first that we got to do is just talk to Cranky over here. Cranky is essentially one of the characters who gives us all of the moves that we're going to be using in this run. So he's very useful. And so essentially we're in this area where we're learning how to essentially play the game. And so we have 4 different barrels here that have 4 different main mechanics. So the first one is swimming. So firstly, we're going to go here and just learn how to swim by pressing Z and an A and then swimming to get a coin. Oop, I missed it. Whoops. There we go. Well done. We're gonna hear a lot of that. So if we just have we all spam well done every single time, that'd be honestly really awesome to see. Because honestly, I think the well done is one of the most well-known things, along with the get out from Angry Aztec and just the areas that have that. So yeah. After we're done with the trading area, we're going to actually be doing our first glitch of the run. If you don't know DK64 speedrunning, there's a lot of glitches that we do. This game is infamously known for being broken. And so we're going to be using all those glitches to our advantage by essentially using some out-of-bounds tricks to just get us to levels very early. So yeah. So there's the barrel one. Something I forgot to mention with the previous one, that was oranges. That's a very important move to learn, because we're going to be using oranges for a very specific reason in about 2 minutes from now. But here's our final barrel. This is the vine barrel. essentially here's where we learn how to essentially climb these flying like ropes that spin in midair. So yeah, and just like that, we're done with training.
Not
so
bad.
now we're essentially going to we're gonna leave this area. We're gonna talk to Cranky much later on, actually. But we're gonna fall into this area, and this is our first glitch. It's called swim through vertical walls, and essentially the way that works is if you zoom in at the most north point, when you zoom in and if you don't hold it any direction, the game will just get very confused, and you will essentially be over 360 degrees, which confuses the game, which allows you to just go through a wall. It only works on north-facing walls because of that reason, because it only goes so far. And so we use that to our advantage. Here's another one called Swim Through Shores, which is just essentially mashing B to kind of clip through a shore like that. And the reason why we go in here is to talk to the Banana Fairy, not for the camera for now, but to get a move called Shockwave. And we'll be using Shockwave in like 30 seconds from now. But yeah. And then here, we're going to be collecting 2 crystals for what we're going to be collecting soon, which is rainbow coins. So rainbow coins are very, very important in DK64 101% speedrunning, because essentially that's how we buy moves very quickly. And so the way a rainbow coin works is they are in these little dirt patches that if you do a shockwave that we just learned, we're able to get this rainbow coin, and it gives you 5 coins, not only to just DK or whoever collects it, but to every single Kong, even if you haven't unlocked that Kong yet. And so we're able to just get very easy coins from just getting some rainbow coins. And so we are only going to get some specific moves for this category, which is why I said it's like a modified version of 101%. Like it's like intro, because we're not going to be collecting all the moves that we need for the actual run. We're going to be just collecting what we will just need for this specific IL. So yeah, here we're going to be doing a glitch called Aztec Early. This trick is very much RNG heavy, because we're essentially, since I am running on the original N64, the game tends to lag a lot. And so if we artificially create lag, we're essentially trying to do a mechanic where if we generate enough lag, we're able to clip through, because a failsafe that Rareware had in this is the more lag there is, the more speed you will have, which, if you really think about it, that's a recipe for disaster. And so I failed it here, so we're just gonna have to do a couple backups for getting some oranges. Thankfully, a really quick way to do that is to get some fairies. And so what we're gonna be doing, and I guess I lied a little bit of a statement that I made was a lie. We will be using the camera right now. All right, so we're gonna surface here, and we're gonna get a fairy here. Fairy gives us an automatic refill of everything, and so that's why, at least for like a non-reset run, knowing your backups, specifically fairies and just orange locations, is very useful to know, especially like for that glitch where it's just completely random on when you'll get it. But once we get it, that's essentially like the most RNG heavy thing that's like we'll be done with that. So yeah, hopefully we'll just get it very soon. So to give you an perspective while we're trying to get this on what we need to collect for a 100% of a IL, you essentially need to collect all 25 bananas, which involves getting blueprints for each of the Kongs. And then also getting all the banana medals for each respective Kong, which you need 75 regular bananas. Wow, this trick is really not wanting to work, which is kind of unfortunate. I do have a backup way to do it. Okay, yeah, we might have to do the backup. But essentially, along with the banana medals, we have to collect, what else? 2 fairies, and then essentially those are the main things we have to collect to essentially collect everything in the IL. So this is what I was talking about earlier, by the way, about knowing your backups. Here, there are 20 oranges that you can collect underwater. So we're gonna not go for Aztec early, unfortunately. It's just because it's such a rough glitch sometimes. I'm gonna go for a different route, essentially. We're gonna be going to Fungi Forest, which is the 5th level of the game, to essentially grab the key that we need to enter the level that will unlock all the Kongs that we need to grab. So let's warp back. Arguably, I think this is a much cooler thing to do anyways, because we're gonna be doing another glitch here. So you saw me do it earlier, but here I'll give it a proper explanation. These are called moon kicks. Essentially, the way moon kicks work is if you cancel an aerial attack with a ground attack around the same time, you're able to just use the ground attack and just start flying. Oh, whoops. And we're able to just get up to like places that we normally aren't supposed to get up to. And so that allows us to sequence break very easily. There we go. And you have to do it mostly on slopes because that's the easiest place to do it. You can do it on some ledges where, but those ones are like way more precise. There we go. And so the steeper the ledge, the easier the moon kick is. So here's the final one. This one is a much longer distance, so we throw some oranges. Okay, oh, I am not going in the right direction. We're gonna actually try that again. And so we want to use the lag mechanic, like I mentioned earlier, to essentially get back up. So here should be enough lag. There we go. Nice. First try. Awesome. So now we are in Fungi Forest. All right. And then here we have B-Locker. B-Locker is normally the character that blocks you from entering levels because you would have to collect a set number of bananas. But the way loading zones work in this game, at least for like the ones where you enter levels, like that like warp area, is if any part of DK's collision touches it, including like an attack, you're able to enter the level. And so we're able to just completely bypass B-Lockers by just using the game's mechanics. Love myself a like little exploit that just sequence breaks everything. So you may be wondering why we're even doing this or like trying to get into Aztec. The reason for that is because in this game, we have a really awesome mechanic that we can do here where if we do this boss that's coming up, which is Dogadon, we are actually able to get the 5th key, which unlocks Creepy Castle, which has a boss that we'll get into much later, but essentially allows us to unlock every single Kong in just one quick go. And so the reason why I try to enter Aztec instead of Fungi is because Aztec is much quicker and uses Dogadon as the boss. So this is actually a rematch of Dogadon from earlier, story-wise. And so if you do a weird glitch where you do a quick kill, it essentially bugs the game out and you essentially just get the key from this level in the 2nd level because it plays the wrong cutscene. And so you can get both key 5, which is the one we're getting now in this one, and key 2 from Aztec. So there's the glitch. That's the literal final hit of Dogadon. And so Dogadon dies and we'll see a cutscene, but then we get a key. So if you do that same process in Aztec, you get this key from this level, which is so like, it's so interesting. But yeah, now that we are done with this, we get access to Creepy Castle. So let's grab this key. Ooh, I think I grabbed that. Nice. Okay, so that was actually I think frame perfect pause. Essentially, I grabbed the key while pausing at the same time when I collect it. And if you do that, it's a frame perfect thing, by the way. You collect it and you're able to leave the area much quicker. And so I'm actually really happy I got that because that's actually really awesome to show off. But yeah, now we're going to be opening like levels. So honestly, again, we have a lot of downtime in these games. So like 2 minutes of just like anything to say.
My gosh, making my job difficult. So everyone, again, make sure you're following ad129 here, twitch.tv/ad129. And I want to open up a discussion here on DK64. And, you know, at its release, it was very highly received. I think it's got like a 90 plus meta score. People loved this game. And then in recent years, you know, a lot of people have looked back at this and like, you know, specifically the 101% category. And it's like, oh my goodness, this game is actually not that great. But then we also have, you know, the speedrunning community that loves this game, as well as the gigantic random community that loves this game. So where do we stand now? If someone has never played Donkey Kong 64, maybe they've never played Banjo Kazooie, maybe they've never played Banjo Tooie. Do you think, you know, a casual 101% playthrough of this game is something worth pursuing to the casual player today? Big question.
That's a big question. Honestly, yeah. I would say these games are like, they have so much charm that a lot of video games don't have these days. Like a lot of unique like character design and also just storytelling. Like I mentioned in the Tooie run, like the Tooie story plays like into the Banjo Kazooie lore and expands upon it in such a beautiful way. And like, there's just like, although there are things that these games have, like the like DK64 having so many collectibles, or like Banjo Tooie having so much backtracking, it's what makes them fun, honestly. And so, like, if you have never played either of the 3 games that we're showcasing tonight, like, you should definitely try to find a way to play them, because these games will like always like, they will always have the same like charm that they had back in like when they got released. And so, and like, if you really do enjoy like running the game, or like, sorry, playing the games, like running the games has like, you can join either the Banjo Discord, which is the house for both Kazooie and Tooie speedrunning, and also the DK64 speedrunning Discord, the Rando Discord. There's just so many awesome ways to get into playing these awesome games. And like, that's why, like, even now, like, I grew up playing DS games. I'm a very like DS Wii type of person, and when I started playing N64 games, like, these have stuck with me. Like as you can see now, I'm running the 3 games right now. And so they really do stand the test of time. But yeah. So, while we were doing all that, we are now in Creepy Castle. So, reason why we go into Creepy Castle, and kind of the reason why we haven't even entered Jungle Japes yet, is we want to have all the Kongs. And so, this is the 7th level of the game. And so, the reason why we go in here is there's a tag barrel in here, and it has all the Kongs. And so, the reason why we do this is because we actually cycle through all the Kongs here. And something that we can do is we can actually leave the boss and select that set Kong. And now we have technically saved that Kong, which means we now have the Kong forever. And so that's kind of the reason why we go into Castle in the first place, is to just have access to this. And so it allows us to essentially just break the game and do some very interesting routing, honestly. And so with 101%, like, I really love this route, because you do this at the beginning, and then you also just do everything in like one go, and it's so fun. But there's also other routes. There's what's that route? It's called Organic Kongs, where you save the Kongs normally. And so that's like the standard beginner route. This route that we're doing, obviously, with how many times I failed Aztec early, it's not really intended to be a beginner route, but it's the route that really like stuck with like the world record for 101% on N64 uses the Castle Kong's route. And
excuse me, sorry.
You're good. It uses the Castle Kong's route because it's not really proven that this is faster, but in a way it kind of it's cool to have something like this, especially when you're like showcasing like individual stuff. So yeah. So what we're doing right now is I'm just setting up a couple things. So right here I'm buying a couple weapons. I'm buying this is Funky Kong, by the way. Gives us our guns for the game. Every single Kong will have a gun because there are balloons that we have to shoot. And just in general, other things we have to shoot relating to Kongs and their like tasks that we'll be doing much later. But we'll get into that. But yeah, now we have 2 more Kongs left to save. We need to save Chunky Kong and then Diddy Kong. And then we're done with Creepy Castle and we can actually officially begin Jungle Japes 100% IL. So yeah, this first part of the run is always just the longest because you're just setting things up for whatever you're going to be doing. If you know Bingo, there's a really strong Bingo community with this game. Essentially, Bingo in DK64 is you're given a random task to do. So like a great example would be grabbing 1 golden banana for each Kong. That's like a task you would do. And so I do a specific kind, which is Blackout, which is do every single thing on a 5x5 board. And every single bingo begins by doing this. Just entering Creepy Castle as fast as you can and just grabbing the moves you need for this bingo. And so, like, unfortunately, like, we have to begin the runs just with this slight boring section, but after we're done with this boring section, everything just, it ramps up. And that's why I really love running 101% and just bingos. All right, so now we just have Diddy Kong to save, and then we are out of here. Here we're gonna do another glitch that's related to that trick I was mentioning earlier with the water that goes over the 360. This one's called Fall Through Vertical Walls. Essentially the same concept, except you're trying to do it in midair. So this one's much more precise, just like that, boom. And we're able to just clip out of bounds like that. This is a Chunky exclusive glitch, by the way. Because Chunky can do that certain moveset to get that high, and it works to clip out of bounds. But yeah. So after this, we're going to be entering Jungle Japes, like I said, and then that's where we're going to start collecting things. We're going to start collecting golden bananas. We're going to start collecting all the banana medals. We're going to be collecting the battle crown. We're going to be collecting everything. So the final 30 minutes of this is like the most exciting part. This is what everyone came here for this category. The actual 100% of the actual level, not the setup. All right, so we leave here and then we get Diddy's gun, and then, like I said, for like the 5th time, we're out of here. All right. Yeah, we get the peanut pop guns, and then a little fun fact about this: you can actually pause in this area and just leave the level. It's a really obscure fact that you can just do that, but it's really useful in that situation. But yeah. Here we're gonna Def Warp, and now we're gonna switch to DK. Oh, that's pretty interesting. I did not save Chunky. Let's go back. Whoops. Things happen. To be fair, it's been how long? An hour and a half, so I am forgetting things. So let's save Chunky again. Honestly, we're saving Chunky a second time because Chunky is the best Kong, in my opinion.
I agree.
I know
the
that.
Best.
Yeah. I know some people might disagree on me with that one, but if you disagree with me, like who do you think is the best Kong? I think it's Chunky Kong because Chunky Kong is just so silly and goofy. All right. I don't like Castle's design sometimes because when I do a mistake like this, you have to just traverse the entire level because it's all a circle or it's all a spiral that you have to climb. But thankfully there's a Troff and Scoff right here. Okay. Do that one more time. Thankfully, Chunky's very early on in that like cycle that we do. Okay, so here we go. But yeah, to just go in, kind of like foreshadow what we're going to be doing after this run, the final thing that we'll be doing tonight. I'll spoil a bit of it. Essentially, the mini games that we'll be doing in the main menu are going to be the ones that we normally do. So I'm not going to spoil the 2 character like transformation ones, but I will say we will be doing DK Arcade and the Jip Pack, which if you know those 2 from this game, they're hard.
They are.
So we'll get into that when we get to that point. So now that I've like talked for 30 minutes probably about everything that isn't Jungle Japes, now it's time for Jungle Japes. All right. So here's our first gold banana. We do a dance skip. Nice, got it. That essentially just skips us from watching that dance. Don't worry, we're going to be seeing a lot more dances coming up. Just, we want to skip that one because that one's just, skipping that one is just right there. It's very easy. Yeah, here's Jungle Japes. So, get a little introduction on, oh, here's the Trotless. Here's your, like, mission, save Diddy, and all that. But we're just going to just do things out of order right now because we don't care. We're going to do a clip here called Bush Push because essentially this bush right here pushes us out of bounds. Just like that. And we're able to just completely skip some of that intro stuff that would take a little bit too long. And we're just going to be going to the main area. That's essentially what we're going to be mainly doing. So, we're going to go here. And then this first section is kind of just DK dominated. So we're going to do another moon kick off these trees. These ones are a little bit more difficult because tree moon kicks are a little bit harder to get. So I got the first one. There we go. Second one. Nice. Those were really good. Those really clean tree kicks. All right. And then, like I said earlier, we need to collect 75 bananas for, what's it called? To collect the banana medal, which is one of the requirements for the 100%. So each Kong has a banana medal and like, oh, I am out of bounds. The grenade or the oranges pushed me out of bounds, which I have never seen that before. I said the line.
You did it. Oh, okay, it's officially a Hotfix show. Yeah.
If there's a bingo board on this run or just the showcase, that's never happened before. Is definitely on there. There we go. Well, at least we get to do tree kicks again. All right, let's get this golden banana. Something I love about the golden banana dances is every single Kong has a unique dance, and each of those dances just they like are perfectly like they fit the character that you are. So like I think Lanky Kong's dance is my favorite because like you just see him just like doing just like the most random thing ever, and it's like so funny. You'll see one coming up. Oop, I need this. There we go. Awesome. We're switched to Chunky now. And so we're gonna do another one of the fall through vertical walls again, specifically on this cage right here. Right there, perfect. Just like that, that's another golden banana. And then we're gonna be going here to buy, or to just grab these, and then also do the battle crown. So we're gonna backflip here. Oh, so close. And just enter this battle arena. And essentially, this is my favorite parts of the game because this is the mini game. It literally is. You just fight enemies for 30 seconds. And so here it's very easy because this is your first one in the game, and so you're just fighting the beavers from DK Isles, and they're just You just literally just need to hit them once and they're just dead. And you just need to survive for whatever time that you're doing. So here it's just 30 seconds. Just like that, that's the battle crown. You're done with the first requirement of this out of like the 7 that we have to do. All right. Backflip. And now we're gonna do some lanky stuff. So yeah, something that the game does, especially with, I think it only does it on these levels, DK Isles, any Trotless, Jungle Japes, Aztec, and Frantic Factory. Squawks will give you like a little introduction text. Because if you enter a tag barrel and switch to the character you just unlocked, it gives you like, hey, you're Lanky Kong, here's your little quirk on what you do, and all that. So we'll be seeing that for Diddy very soon, I believe. But yeah, just like that. We do a clip out of bounds there with the lag. Now we're in this area. Now we get to do another mini game. So this is Speedy Swing Sortie. Essentially just grabbing coins as fast as possible. So yeah, just like that. All the mini games in, at least for this like first part of the first half of the actual game, they're very easy. But when you get to like Crystal Caves, it's like when they start to like get much more difficult. All right. Yeah, like what is Lanky doing there? All right. We're gonna be going here. Where's this guy? Perfect. Oop, I need that. All right, and so we're gonna be going back because we need to grab his gun now, because essentially, like I said earlier, we need to collect 75 bananas, and with the routes that we do, it's kind of hard to do that without getting the balloon. So that's why we get the gun for every single Kong. So here we're gonna grab some underwater bananas that will give us the banana medal much later, and then we're gonna climb back up and just get the gun. And this should be every single gun for each Kong. So say bye to Funky Kong. We're not gonna see Funky most likely again. All right. So who's ready for some more glitches? Because we are about to see a lot of glitches in this next section. So after, it's not going to be immediate. We're going to have an entire cranky section where we're just going to be buying moves. But essentially we're going to, oh, I need that. There we go. We're going to essentially be going out of bounds after finishing cranky move collection, and just all the glitches are just gonna happen rapid fire, essentially, to just grab bananas. I am so surprised that first shot made it. I'm gonna be so honest. That shot was just like out of the blue and it just hit it. All right. So we're back to talking to Cranky. So we're gonna grab our first move here, which is Simian Slam. This is our ground pound of the game. And so we only need one upgrade of this, thankfully. And so what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be essentially just buying every single move that we would need for this IL specifically. Normally in 101%, we would have more rainbow coins and just coins in general for each Kong. But with this, we just need to collect just the one move for Lanky, and then just all that for each Kong of just what will make this easy, or what do we actually need. So like here we need his handstand to like climb slopes. Just like that. And it's also the fastest way to move with Lanky. Alright, Tiny Kong. So we'll switch to Tiny Kong because here we have a balloon that we have to shoot. There we go. Oop, not the right direction. And then we're gonna get two moves from Cranky here. This first move is Tiny Monkey, I think. Oh, a Mini Monkey. There we go. Essentially, this one will allow us to just transform into like a very small version of Tiny Kong to get into like loading zones that are very small or just crevices. And this next one is Ponytail Twirl, which is the more useful one out of the two that we need for this category. Because essentially, we're going to be able to just cross some far away areas with Tiny now. And then we don't have enough for that other move, which we don't need. And then now we're going to be switching to Chunky Kong.
You ever notice every single ability in this game is kind of like a glorified key? It doesn't do too much other than a new way to open up a gate or a door or spawn a minigame or something.
Yeah, that's actually like a perfect way to describe the moves in this game, because like essentially and this is also like the same with like just in general how Rare made games is like, oh, here's this one move you can get. Now that you have this move, try to use it in this area from a previous level. Or here's this little area from the level you're in that you now have access to. A great example of a move like that is it's a Tiny move. It's the final one you get with Tiny, and it's called I think it's called Monkey Port, which allows you to teleport into just very like weird areas very instantly that you normally wouldn't have access to. But yeah, this is our final move. So this is when you get to say bye to Cranky Kong. We're no longer going to be seeing Cranky Kong or Funky Kong. And so now that we have all the moves, we're able to just go on with this run. We are now just going to be collecting all the items that we need. So here...
It's so involved to get 100% on each level. Like, going through originally, like, gosh, you had to backtrack so many times and go revisit the levels so many times. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah, especially with, like, Donkey Kong 64, with, like, if you count single bananas as an individual collectible, there are over, like, 8,000 collectibles in this game.
Oh.
Which is, like, absolutely absurd.
Oh, my gosh,
and, like,
that hurt.
Yeah, which thankfully in 101% you don't need to collect all that. You just need to collect just the banana medals, which is 75 each instead of the 100. But still, that's still a lot. All right. So we're going to be entering another minigame here. This one is Minecart Mayhem. I really like these ones because it's just puzzle. It's like a puzzle with in a minecart. You'll see it very soon. Also, this is like the longest like barrel sequence, like for it to like squish down. But essentially, in this mini game, we're in a minecart, and there's also a TNT minecart, and we'll lose if we touch that TNT minecart. So we have to do some strategy to just make sure we don't get hit. And so here, we're gonna just maneuver our way. Thankfully for this one, it's just one TNT, so we're able to just like use some logic to just like avoid it. So yeah, there, lead into that one, go here, do a full spin here, go here, and then go here, and then I essentially just like locked in that I won't get hit. But in Fungi Forest, which is where this level comes back, or minigame comes back, and then also in Creepy Castle, there are 2 TNTs in them, and then they get progressively much more like intelligent in terms of where you're going, and so it becomes much harder. But thankfully, the Jungle Japes one is very easy.
This is like your introduction to a lot of these mini games. This is the first iteration of it in the game. Or like this is the most likely one you're going to encounter first. I mean, really, if you have Chunky and everybody, you don't really have to come back here anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly. Oh wow, these like zingers are trying to like ruin my day. With the oranges, there we go. We're trying to do a clip there called Shell Clip because we're back in this area, but we're as Big Chunky now, so we're able to just do a out of bounds there to just not have to get Ramby. And now we have access to these balloons here. If I can hit them. These balloons tend to be just annoying sometimes.
The glitch is easy. Hitting the balloons, impossible.
Yeah, exactly. Balloons and fairies, they always just choose to like be your enemy. Especially when you're on like an ILPB or something. it'll just be like, oh, okay, like my feather just completely went through the balloon, and yeah, the fairy is centered into the camera that we're using, but it didn't count. Which honestly, it could happen right here because this is an exact situation that's happened to me before. Oh, okay, yeah, foreshadowing. Oh, it's
You called it, yeah.
Oh. Wow.
That was a great photo, yeah.
Exactly. The game just hates me. Oh, DK64.
Truly the DK64 experience.
Yeah, exactly. Never change DK64.
All right, do we need to revisit whether or not to recommend the... No, it's fine.
All right. So now we are back out of bounds, and we're into the main area now to grab this gold banana right here in a cage.
Oh.
And now we've come full circle, and now we get to just do stuff in this area instead. And so we're going to go out of bounds one more time with the swim through vertical walls. And then what we're going to be doing here is avoiding a cutscene trigger right there. Nice. And then we're going to be maneuvering out of bounds. There are these things in this a level that are very prominent, and they're called void out zones. Essentially, if you touch a void out zone, you have to restart from the beginning of the level. It treats it like a death. And so we have to be very careful to just like not hit those, especially in this area where there are like a lot of them and very like close to the actual wall. But we got past that one. There are still a couple much more later that could trip us up, but let's hope that we don't. All right, so here's my second favorite minigame, honestly, because like it's very unique. It's the same idea as like learning how to swim, except there are 10 coins, there are enemies that can hit you, and the coins are like testing you on how your swimming ability is. It's really, I really like it. All right, and we're trying to do a dance skip. Nice, got it. So yeah, we try to do as many dance skips as possible in a standard run because doing the dances adds up really quickly. All right, so now we're going to be doing another glitch here, a new one. Again, a lot of new glitches. This one is just called a... wow, that was first try. That I normally don't get that quick. Essentially, the way like walls work in this game, there's like a slight pixel or a couple pixels where you're able to just fall through it and just go out of bounds. And so if we zoom in and kind of just like slightly push it a little bit, push one of the characters till we get it, we're able to just go out of bounds that quickly. And so like that's why I was zooming in to get like the perfect like frame movements on it. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually really happy I got it like very quickly.
It was great.
Yeah. All right. Here we have Armadillo. This is the first boss of the entire game. It's treated as a Donkey Kong fight because normally you would have to do all these fights with a certain Kong. Like here, you would normally do it as DK, but we're as Lanky because of routing purposes, obviously. But something that I have to change in terms of how I do this fight from 101% in this is normally we would have two melons. We would grab instruments. Since there are no instrument pads in this level, we actually don't grab an instrument, which means that we are stuck at one melon, which makes a couple of things just really like scary because that essentially just like we have to do this fight very safely and to just make sure we don't die. And then there's gonna be a section in like 2 minutes from now where we have to just make sure we are on top of our health. But this is the final phase of the fight. Like literally just a couple more shots and then he's, yep, there we go. And just like that, that is Armadillo. All right, so this, we're gonna get key out of this. Thankfully, we don't need to turn in the key to like count for the 100% category or like requirement, thankfully. But collecting it is still required, obviously. All right, see if we can get the, oh, so close. I was like probably like 2 frames off of that pause exit. Again, like I said, they're frame perfect, so I don't expect to get them. Mm-hmm. All right.
It's just for swag.
Yeah, just for swag. All right. Now we're entering my, like genuinely, this is my favorite minigame in the entire game. Or this style of minigames. Mad Maze Mall. This has the best music in the game.
It does.
So,
oh, it's really good.
yeah, I'm not gonna talk much. Just enjoy the music here. Nice. Hope you enjoy that. That like honestly, like this is why this is my favorite minigame, just because of the music. The music is just so good. All right. So now we're gonna do an out of bounds here. This is a torch clip. Essentially, we use the torch to clip us out of bounds. Wow, I got that first try. I'm getting a lot of the hard stuff first try, and then some of the easy stuff like multiple tries, which honestly, this checks out with DK64 speedrunning. All right, so now we're going to be doing another glitch. Again, when I say we're getting introduced to so many glitches in this category, I mean it. Because now we're going to get introduced to the funny glitch. If you know what a skew is, you know where this is going.
Oh yes, I do.
All right. So essentially, we're going to try to get a displacement on the collision on Lanky Kong. And a skew is essentially what I just described. And there are multiple ways to get it. The way I'm trying to do it here is called a cannon skew, which is one of the most precise ways to get it. Because essentially you have to time getting into the cannon, launching yourself, and then also getting hit by the orange. It's very precise. So both orange count and damage and amount of health is very important for this. So this is why this section I have to be very careful in. If I don't get this, I have a backup of a different skew, but I really do kind of want to show this one off. Ah, so close. This one, like even after learning how to run 101%, this one trick always still does give me trouble. Because I'm always either too early or too late. And it's like so kind of precise to just get the in-between. There we go. I think that's the last try I would have had. Yeah. All right, so now Lanky is just in the ground. Just...
where he belongs, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so essentially with skew, we're able to just go into, just clip through walls very easily. And so we're able to like clip through like that gate very fast. So here we're able to enter this area very early, because normally you would have to open this with Diddy Kong with his gun, but that takes time, and so we're just gonna do this instead. But I do have to be wary. I am at 1 health, and there are enemies that spawn here that we have to kill. So okay, none of them immediately went for the attack, so that's good. Ooh, that one's being weird. There we go. Awesome. So yeah, that's that area. We call this painting room for I think pretty obvious reasons. I think there's a painting that just like got moved there for the golden banana. But yeah, it has a fairy in here too, which is our final fairy. So we're done with the fairy requirement. That's a banana medal, by the way. So we are very much close to being done with this run. But yeah, honestly, we're going to be doing just some DK and chunky stuff real quick. So, and it's just going to be the same glitches we've seen already. So if you have anything to say, that'd be a great time.
Yeah, just thanks for coming on. This has been a super fun evening.
Yeah, like I said at the beginning of all 3 of the games, like these are my favorite games to speedrun. And just, again, being able to showcase all 3 of them on one hotfix is like genuinely such an honor, because I get to showcase just all the work that I've been able to put on these games for the past 4 years. And it's so amazing to just like be able to do that.
I think it really shows.
So yeah,
the best thing is when the runner is passionate about their speedruns. Like that just makes everything so much better.
Yeah, no, I full-heartedly agree. So yeah. We do end a speedrun with some blueprint turn-ins, because again, we do have to turn in those blueprints for just getting that requirement for 100%. And so we're going to be doing that. And so I'm going to finish essentially all the DK stuff right now. So this is the final thing we're going to be doing other than, what's it called? Other than blueprint turn in.
Yeah.
So this is a Baboon Blast. And so I don't like these because it's a lot of timing and I'm bad at timing a lot of the time. But looks like I got all the bananas I need and we got the golden banana. So we're done with Baboon Blast.
Cheese. Question for you that I have.
Yes.
So, all these games are fairly large. 8,000 individual collectibles in DK64. How long did it take you to just mentally unpack that for your run? Because a lot of times with something like this, I would have pages and pages of notes of okay,
Yes.
go here, go here, go here. How long did it take you to internalize it to where you're just okay, I just know where everything is?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Honestly, I'll break it down by game. So for Banjo Kazooie, it's the easiest one because there's no written route for it essentially, but there's a bit a lot of different routes with video tutorials and just glitches in general. So I was able to memorize that route very easily, and I just have a really good sense of just memorization of different games. But with something like DK64, I had a lot of knowledge coming into learning it, where this collectible is there, that collectible, that's how I do this collectible, stuff like that. And so when it came to learning a route, I was essentially able to just quickly okay, so this level I do this stuff in this order, and then the next level I do this stuff. And I was able to just memorize the stuff in DK. So if I were to put a time on DK at least, it probably took me over 3 months to fully memorize one of the routes for 101%.
Ooh.
Yeah. And the thing that's really awesome with again, I've spent 4 years on running these games is I fully have both the Banjo Tooie 100% route, the Banjo Kazooie 100% route, and the Donkey Kong 64 101% routes mostly by memory. So if I were to do a run of 101% tomorrow hypothetically with no route, I would most likely be able to do it because of just my experience and just being able to recall all of that on the spot. So yeah. All right. Also, before we go any further, say hi to Diddy, because now we get a literal dedicated Diddy section.
Oh, hello, Diddy.
We get to do a minecart game. We get to do skew again with Diddy. We saved essentially kind of the best character for this section for last, because we do a lot of cool stuff with Diddy. All right, so first thing we're doing as Diddy here is we're actually going to be activating this. We're going to actually do this minecart minigame first. And so if you remember doing this section, you normally remember that the requirement's really punishing. You need 50 coins and all that. But a little fun fact about the development of this game is the original concept for how many coins you would collect in this minecart minigame is actually 70. You would normally, in the original concept, you would have to collect 70 coins in this area, which there's probably 80 coins. So you only have wiggle room to lose 10.
That's a lot like Banjo Kazooie requiring you to 100% the game just to beat it.
Yeah.
How many jiggies is needed? Like 90 or something in order to win?
To get to Grunty without glitches, you need to collect, I think, 80. I think it's 96 jiggies.
Of 100.
Yeah. Of 100. The reason I have that memorized is because the final puzzle, which uses the final 4 jiggies, is a 4 pattern to get the double health. But yeah, you need 96 jiggies and 810 notes out of the 900. So you essentially are just 100%ing Banjo Kazooie to just beat it, without trying to even go for 100%. It's wild. Thankfully, they very much kind of calmed down for Banjo Tooie, Because to get to the final boss vanilla, you need 70 jiggies out of the 90. And at most, you would probably need like, I think like at least 600 or 700 out of the note, like of the 900 notes. So it's much more forgiving in that one, but still, it's a long game. So I guess it justifies that. All right. I chose to collect 70 here just because why not? I think it'd be more fun. Yeah, 76. That's a really good number to like for this area. But yeah, there's that minecart minigame. There's two others in this game. There's one in Fungi Forest and there's one in Creepy Castle. I'm kind of sad that we don't showcase the one in Creepy Castle because that one has like honestly the best music in the game because it's just like it's so like I can't even describe it. Like I'm majoring in music and I can't even I can't put words on how good it is. So if you haven't played DK64, get to Creepy Castle and do the minecart minigame there. Oh, it's so gonna be so worth it.
Yeah. It's like an entire like Disneyland ride, basically.
Yeah, literally. All right. So now that we are essentially almost done, we're gonna get another skew, and we're gonna actually maintain the skew for the next like 6 minutes in this area coming up. So the way we're gonna get this next skew is we're actually gonna try to trick the game to have our guns underwater. Normally, if you try to swim with guns, it will like immediately put the guns away. But if you zoom in while you're falling in, it will trick the game into letting you have them. And so what we're able to do with that is we're able to go out of bounds, line ourselves up like this, and then we're able to get skew much easier. And with that, we use that platform to get back up onto the platform. And then we're gonna clip back in bounds around here. And now we're able to just keep our skew in bounds. So this would have been the backup if I failed the cannon skew earlier, but thankfully we got that one. So I got to showcase both of the skews. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, Lanky Kong, Donkey Kong, and Chunky Kong have 4, which is what we normally would have towards this point in the section. And then we're getting basically Diddy's and Tiny's stuff right now. So yeah. We're going to do a really cool glitch here. Most runners do it, but it's also just, it depends on lag. And so I'm going to have to go for a proper camera here. Yeah. So essentially, we normally clip through this hill, but if we come at it at the correct angle, we're able to just kind of do this. And essentially what we're able to do is just get to the top of this area, just like that, and just not have to press that switch. And that saves like probably like 5 seconds, honestly. But it's cool to show off. All right, and then this should be our banana medal. Nice. So our final Diddy golden banana that isn't the blueprints is this. So there's that one, and then we're gonna be really careful here because we could lose our skew with this area here, because the way you would normally lose skew is if you jump without like a move or something. So like here I can jump, but if I jump without doing like a move there, I would have lost it. But for some reason that area in particular, like Funky's shop, it like has such weird collision where it bugs the game out, where it just loses your skew randomly. And so we just always have to be very careful when we get to this point. Yeah, the reason why we maintain it is because of this section coming up. Normally we would use the tiny monkey here, but if we have skew, we're able to just get those very easily. And then we don't have to like watch the cutscenes of Tiny going through those areas. And then here, just grab this one, just like that. And then that cage opens, and then we're entering this final area right here. All right, enter. There we go. So now we're inside the shell that we saw earlier, here's where we get our banana medal for Tiny. So now we have all the banana medals. We're done with the hardest requirement, and honestly, the one where you could forget more of the things, because again, 75 bananas, you can forget a lot of things. But we're done with the banana medal requirement. And then here's our final banana for the non-blueprints. And then now what we're going to be doing is I'm going to try to do an out of bounds here. If I don't get it in like 2 tries or something, I'm just going to essentially just pause exit, because that's going to be the best thing. Okay, yeah. It's okay. That one's really hard. But yeah, essentially now we're just going to be turning in blueprints, and then we're done with this category. This really long category.
It's a beast of a game. How long is the 101% run?
My current PB is 6 hours and 20 minutes.
What a monster of a video game.
It's a monster of a category. So like showcasing 1 hour of this is literally just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what you have to do in 101%. So yeah. But I primarily do run 101%. So if you want to watch like me attempt 101% runs, like not now, obviously I'm currently still in my like college semester, so like I can't really realistically fit in a 6-hour run in a day. But I do plan on doing a lot of like long runs once I am on break in about 2 weeks. I plan on doing both, like, obviously Donkey Kong 64 101% because I really want to get back into running that category. And then also get better at Banjo Tooie 100% because that one is, again, Banjo Tooie is also another cool category. Yeah, now we're just collecting some blueprint gold bananas. And I do see a question from the chat that does say, of like asking what the world record is. And the world record is 5 hours and 10 minutes, I believe. It probably has gone down since I last checked, but last time I remember it was 5 hours and 10 minutes, and that was done on the Wii Virtual Console because the Wii Virtual Console saves like 10 to like 15 minutes on compared to N64.
You know, 10 hours or it's on lag. This game, especially when there's weather, Creepy Castle in particular, that level, anywhere where rain is. It takes forever.
Exactly. And honestly, with like, this is something we do a lot in, specifically in the Banjo games, but you have to also kind of do it in this game too, is try to avoid looking at water as much as you can because water generates so much lag. That's kind of the reason why when you saw me do that like out of bounds with Lanky, like I was looking at the water so I can get as much lag as I can from that. But yeah. Before we call time on this, because we still have 2 more golden bananas from the blueprints, I will say, although that like there's like the time difference is like very drastic and like Wii U may seem worth it to run on, Wii U is also much harder because a lot of the mini games in this game are designed with the lag in mind, and so a lot of the like mini games, specifically, I forget what it's called, but it's
called the banana fairies, right? Or not the banana. It's you have to have the 5 Kongs, and you have to shoot the golden banana, right?
Yeah, that one. That one with the one in Fungi Forest where you have to shoot 5.
Yeah.
On N64, that's like almost possible, but on Wii U, you would literally have to pause buffer everything, and it's like incredibly harder to just do that. All right, we are on our final Kong. We are 1 more banana and we are done with this category.
Again, if you want a taste of the 101%, because you didn't get enough here, make sure you go follow Ad169 or 129. I'll get the numbers eventually.
Yeah.
129.
All right, get ready on time and time.
GG.
Well, yeah. All right. Just to completely verify this. So 26, 1, 2, 5, 3. Well, it should be 2, but 3. And then 5. Yep, this screen looks right. And then everything should be right here. And that has been 100% for this level.
Whew. All right.
Awesome. But don't leave just yet. We still have one more thing to show off. And this is just to top everything completely off. This is kind of the thing that's really hard with running 101%, and it's these two mini games coming up. But I said them earlier, but essentially we're gonna do two of the easy ones that we just don't normally see people like play that much. And so the first one is actually gonna be the Rambi Arena. And so this one, we're just in a big arena, and you can go. 3, 2, 1, go. Sorry, I was just yapping and I forgot to like say go. That's completely my bad. But here you're just trying to get as many beavers and just hit them and try to just get at the highest score you can. There are just obviously regular beavers here that are 2 points, and you can obviously get combos. But the main thing you really want to go for is when these golden ones spawn. And so something you might want to try to do is try to get a combo like that, because it now count as 20. And so it's much harder because this is very much RNG based, but for like a decent slightly bad RNG beaver spawns, like this has been like actually really good, like a good score. So yeah, normally you can fit in a couple more beavers. I'm gonna try to wait for this beaver to spawn. Yeah, just like that. Oh, nice.
Oh, I thought I was gonna change to a much bigger combo.
Yeah,
huge.
That last minute one, 160. That's on the board. Yeah. Nice.
In fact, second on the board.
Yeah. Nice.
Very good.
So now the next one is On Guard's Arena. So this one is much more difficult because you just gotta kind of maneuver On Guard, and On Guard is infamously known for just not having the best mechanics. So I haven't done this one in a while, so just gonna try to get back into the groove of this right here. So essentially we're just trying to get as many rings as possible. I don't think that one will, yeah, okay, perfect. Nice. And then something I try to do is I get this one and then, oh, missed it, and then just do a full loop back. So then this one will be done spinning. We're able to just do some more ring collecting here. And then essentially this is my strategy on how to get more of the points on here. Just a lot of back and forth for an entire minute. All right, I do have a question for Twitch chat. Which one do you want to see first, Jetpack or DK Arcade?
Oh.
I personally want to begin with Jetpack, but I do want to see what Twitch chat says.
Yeah, well, let the delay kick in. But
yeah.
If it was up to
place.
me, I would do Jetpack first so we can end on the DK Arcade because
I
feel like that's a good finale.
Oh yeah.
And we get like the cute music. Yeah.
Yeah, here you can see all my points. Like 290 is my PB, but like people get up to like the upper 300s to 400s. It's like how?
All right, I'm seeing chat seems to like Jetpack.
Okay.
I think Jetpack's a clear winner here.
Yeah,
it's also showrunner's choice, so I'm gonna lock it in. Jetpack and then Arcade.
Jetpack. Perfect. All right, so I am doing specific things in Jetpack. So I'm going to do 2 rounds of it. Oop, I have my L button completely taped down, so I cannot fly. All right, so our first objective here is just, I'm going to try to get 10,000 points first, which is going to be very difficult to get because, again, the way Jetpack works is you are a little astronaut here trying to kind of fly to different planets that have different types of enemies. So here you have kind of like meteors that are flying, and if you get hit by any of them at any point like that, you die. And so this minigame is like really annoying, especially if you never played it before. And the reason why I'm playing this and why it's even in the main menu is when you're trying to 101% the game, or even just in general trying to beat it casually, you have to collect these 2 very amazing collectibles called the Nintendo coin and the Rareware coin. And they are locked behind either this one, if you need to get 5,000 points to unlock the Rareware coin in this one, and beat DK Arcade twice in to get the Nintendo coin.
That's the worst one. I can't believe you have to do that to beat the game.
Yeah, no, it's brutal, and in the speedrun, it's also brutal. Thankfully, Jetpack is one that you can very much easily grind out points and get this complete very easily. Like whatever collectible spawns next, it would be like here. That would be the rainbow coin, for example. But normally, like you would. Oh, okay. I just completely ran into that.
Yeah, iframes do not exist. Do not expect them.
There is no leniency in this game, or mini game, I guess. So if we don't get 10,000, I won't be too like shocked because this game is genuinely very difficult. And like honestly, like with like DK Arcade, which is what we'll be seeing next, at least for that one, you can, for the first 2 rounds, you can predict the RNG. With this one, you just no, it's just pure random. You don't know where anything's gonna spawn. Yeah, perfect
Close.
Example.
8,100.
Right. Could we get this 10,000? Or will I just get trolled by one of these like meteors?
Yeah, they could just spawn on the edge of the screen when you're trying to collect a collectible, and there's nothing you can really do about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially when it spawns, like, I'm not gonna go there obviously, but yeah, like that type, like you have to go down here, and like going down here is the most risky because like that's where most of these like asteroids spawn. All right. Okay, 10,000. Okay, so now our next objective is see how far I can get. Oh, okay. We'll do it in the next one.
There.
Yeah, okay. Honestly, I expected that. So I guess we'll try to get as far as we can with this. Again, each of these levels, each of the planets here get progressively harder with progressively more random activities that the enemies will do. So the next one, I believe, are like bubbles, or not bubbles. They're like these like fuzzy characters that just move very sporadically and like very weird. Like you cannot predict where they go. And so you just have to like just hope that like you don't get hit. Okay. One more fuel and then we get to go in here. Okay. Got to time this. Okay. Nice. Okay, that's the first level.
It looks like you just landed right back on the same planet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. So yeah, these enemies, okay.
I thought you were a goner.
I thought I was, yeah. Thankfully for Jetpack, when doing it in 101%, we stay in that first level, which is why I'm so used to the like asteroids right now. But like we don't go this far normally, and so honestly, anything could just take me out at this point, like in these like next couple of levels. Okay, should be fine. Oh, so close. All right. I will say this: I've never beat Jetpack, so like genuinely, it's that hard.
I didn't even know there was like an ending.
There's an ending. There's a speedrun to it on the DK64 memer boards. There's like 3 people who have done it. That like at least like that's on their a recorded like PB. Okay. The bubbles scare me the most, but also the ones coming up because they just do whatever they want and you just can't predict it half the time. Okay. They're playing nice. I probably just jinxed myself there with this, but it's fine. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I think this next level is where it ramps up, like, it's a major spike. Essentially, we have to construct the entire ship again, I think. Which is like, oh, actually, no, it's in the next one, sorry. Yeah, but here you have just, like, different, like, they look like R-Wings, honestly, from Star Fox 64. But, like, they just do whatever, and, like, they do all that, and, like, oh. I'm trying to play it safe here. Okay. Okay, be careful. Oh, okay. All right, so I have 2 more lives left. The one that I'm currently on, and then also the one that's if I die next. So we'll see how far we get here. Okay. I don't trust that. Okay.
Oh,
so
wait,
that's so close. Okay.
So rude.
So
Yeah, I've never seen this level. I only saw the bubbles. I did see that one.
yeah. So now there's this. And so honestly, this is where I'm definitely dead. Yeah. 'Cause, like I don't know what these UFOs are doing. Honestly, like they follow you, and yeah, like that's it. Okay, so that has been jetpack, but we have
All
one more thing to
right.
show off, and this is the one that I'm actually really good at. It's DK Arcade. All right.
In my casual, I must have
Arcade-
spent like 3 hours or more, 3 to 5 hours to get this coin.
Yeah, that's so fair. So, DK Arcade is something you are also required to do, but you have to do it twice essentially. So the way the game works in terms of trying to beat it casually is you beat this level or you beat DK Arcade once and you get a golden banana out of it. Which okay, you get a golden banana out of it. But the issue after it is you have to beat it again for the Nintendo coin, which, like I mentioned earlier, is required to beat the game, at least casually. And so you need to you essentially have to just get good at this game, which, like, it's just the reality about just DK Arcade.
It really is a choice.
Yeah. And the thing with DK Arcade too, it's the full game. It had 50 meter, 75 meter. Like, you have to get good at everything in this game. So
this one right here is the
do.
worst part. Yeah.
Yeah, this one is really bad. There's a skip you can do there, but I missed it. We're gonna go for it in the next round.
Yeah, especially in the second playthrough where it's harder.
Yeah.
This level is like the killer.
So yeah. The good thing about, at least like when you're replaying DK Arcade in the main menu, it's the same RNG as you would normally see in in a normal playthrough. And so like I'm really used to the 25 meter and 75 meter stuff and just the shenanigans that it pulls on me. But 50 meter and 100 meter, I can't do the same. Because these are, the community calls these ducks, because they look like ducks, I think.
I think they look like marshmallow peeps, you know?
Yeah. But essentially, they just try to follow where you go, and you have to just, like, kind of hope they don't do something evil. So, like, thankfully, they didn't, like, go up the stairs where I was going and all that. So that's round 1 complete. And then now we're going to be heading into round 2. So this is the round where you would get the Nintendo coin. So here you can make this, you can make that without that barrel hitting you. Here I wait a bit because that barrel's falling down. And then we climb up here. Oh gosh.
Oh, how random is this?
So those barrels are just completely random. So I actually did get really lucky that I didn't get hit there. They get much worse in the third level or third like round. So yeah,
there's a third
gimmick,
round. Oh my god.
Yeah, it goes on for like almost infinity until you essentially just lose all your lives. So yeah, here the gimmick with this one is you have to avoid 2 flames instead of 1 flame because obviously we're in level 2 now, so there's 2 flames. And then also there are pies, which I haven't mentioned earlier. The pies are not that bad. But like sometimes they like get in your way and you're like, oh, okay, I just gotta wait a little bit more. All right, 75 meter part 2. Hopefully I can get the skip. Okay, no. It's really precise, honestly. So just gotta do some more waiting. Hopefully this fire is like not gonna be mean today.
Come on.
Okay. Okay, it's gonna be mean, so I'm gonna, once it goes up. Yeah. Thankfully I can time some of that now. I used to be so scared of this section because like if the fire just didn't cooperate, I would just have to like, oh, please just like choose to cooperate. But now we're in 100 meter of level 2. And again, same thing, same gimmick. The ducks will just try to pull any shenanigans that just will kill you. So I just have to be very careful with that. Hopefully I can get the hammer in time so I can... Alright, so I can at least kill some of them.
Do they try and run from it? Apparently
it seems like they do, but sometimes they just like do that. But yeah, I just killed 3 of them, so... Alright, so now this is kind of the hard part. Trying to... Okay, that's a good spawn.
Oh, that's really good.
Spawn, actually. Yeah, boom. Nice.
Yo!
So
the ducks cooperated.
No deaths. That's awesome. And so that's how you would normally do. That's all you would have to do in a regular playthrough. Just those 2. But we're gonna keep going. We're just gonna be trying to go for a high score.
Okay, so what changes here on the 3rd iteration? I've never seen this. How is it different from the 2nd?
Yeah, things just get faster, and like that barrel right there just are more random. And he just throws more barrels in general that you just have to like be ready for. And so just have to be like very prepared. Like, oh my gosh. This is what I mean by just hoping these barrels don't hit you. Yeah. Yeah, that barrel was like, yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Things happen. Okay. So when I did an attempt of like a high score run around, I think it was 3 days ago, I was able to get to level 4 before it became too hard for me. But honestly, I could die at any moment in this section because it's so unpredictable. Like that barrel, oh my gosh. This barrel, I'm hoping it falls. Okay. And like I don't trust where these barrels would fall. Oh, it didn't go up. That's weird. But yeah, you can see why like you can see why Rare at least like gave some leniency towards DK Arcade and what we have to do, because it just genuinely gets so hard. But yeah. While we're just like probably getting to the end of it, because I am on 2 lives and we probably will die. Oh, especially with that fire. Wait.
Oh, went down. No.
Oh. So that fire really did not want to play nice there. Okay, we're on our last life. I do want to give a couple shout outs to the Banjo community and the Donkey Kong 64 community. They're so welcoming with just new runners and just in general, just anyone who's just interested in learning about more about like the run and not wanting to like do the runs. And especially with like the recent times where we've seen like a big like increase of runners because of like randomizer, for example. It's like so amazing to see this game come back to life, and it just in general the other games having more runners. Shout outs to TSR Stormed, who normally commentates my Banjo Tooie runs, but unfortunately couldn't make it today. And then just shout outs to all of you for watching and supporting. Again, like I wouldn't be here running this amazing game without such an amazing crowd. Like, thank you to Kira for inviting me over and doing these 3 amazing games. And just it's always an honor to do runs that I just love to like play. So yeah.
And thank you for coming on and spending the time to be here with us today.
Yeah. All right. I probably will die on this level, so this might be the end. Oh my gosh, that was so close.
So are the little trampolines just coming out faster and the flames moving faster?
Yeah, this is like genuinely so scary. Oh, that was so close too. Okay, this is where I could die. This section is, you have to like time this really well. Okay, that's time. And that's time.
Well done.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this is an incredibly rude arcade game. I guess I've never seen level 3 before.
Yeah.
That was disgusting.
Yeah.
I can't believe that is what it is. Like, it seems like pixel perfect on the timing. And does it get even worse in level 4? Does it have a peak?
It gets so much worse.
Oh my god.
Like all the things just get faster and faster.
Oh, goodness.
But yeah, I already did my shout outs. Yeah, you can find me on twitch.tv/ad129sr. I stream these 3 games. I stream GeForce, the video game, if you've heard of that one. I stream just in general, just awful games and just silly games. Just if you are just looking for a vibe, like I just stream games that are just vibes. So yeah. I have a Blue Sky, ad129.bluesky.social. I just post my rants about music and just why music is like awesome. You know, just music major stuff. And yeah, if you are looking for more runs of me in terms of GDQ, like it was mentioned earlier in the Banjo Tooie segment, I will be back on AGDQ, or Awesome Games Done Quick 2026, for the Awful Block on Thursday night-ish, whatever. It's like 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be running a game called 12 Bananas, which, if you haven't heard of that, just go in, watch it for the first time with my run. You're gonna have a blast.
I'm gonna be there. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, that has been pretty much all that that I will showcase tonight with these 3 games. And thank you so much for having me.
Of course, thanks again so much for coming on. This was a blast. Everybody, type 1 if you had a good time tonight. I know I did. So, you can click the link in chat. Go give ad129sr a follow, because, you can just get so much more of this over on their personal stream. And best of luck to you in HDQ 2026. Maybe I'll see you there. I mean, I will be going myself, so... We'll see how tired I am at 3 a.m. or what segments I have to do. But at the very least, you can always catch up on runs you miss at GDQ on the YouTube channel, because they get uploaded there fairly quickly now. Every single event says !YouTube. And thank you all so much once again for watching Game Masters. I have been your host, Kiara_TV. I stream 4 to 5 days a week and do a whole bunch of variety content, the occasional speedrun as well. But if you happen to miss either of our shows tonight, coming here late night, Random Number Generation and Game Masters will be replayed right after this, and you can tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for Out of the Box and the Creature Corner.